Alrighty, welcome to the WIEV Network, Geraldton and Northampton special episode 135 of Tokwa's Ask Us Anything. As usual, it's been a pretty busy news week. Tesla have released impressive production and delivery results. In Q1, Tesla produced a record 440,808 vehicles, with a record delivery of 422,875. This contributed to Tesla's best annual production of 1,505,012 cars, up 43% year on year, and best annual deliveries of 1,426,678, up 34% year on year. Tesla will release its quarterly financial results and hold an earnings call at 5:30 a.m. on Thursday the 20th of April, Perth time. Tesla's Gigafactory Austin in Texas has passed the 4,000 car per week production barrier this week. If sustained, this performance would translate to an annual production rate in excess of 200,000 units, less than 4 months since its production rate passed 3,000 units per week. Tesla has finally made the Model Y long-range variant available to order in Australia. Of critical importance is the fact that the default pearl white paint with black interior version is the only long-range variant that falls under the important luxury car tax threshold, which means it qualifies for significant business and novated leasing discounts. Tesla have slashed the prices of all variants of Model 3 in Australia by about $3,000, and in so doing have thrown down the gauntlet to other EV manufacturers to match Tesla's unassailable value for money. The first two WIEV network fast DC charger sites have gone live in Geraldton and Northampton yesterday and today, boasting up to 150 kilowatts of charging power and now being able to charge 800-volt battery variants following an innovative firmware upgrade. The latest additions to Western Australia's charging infrastructure herald an impending transformation across the breadth of this state's EV landscape. And that was this week's news. Indeed it was. And welcome everyone to another episode. It's actually a special on the road episode coming live from Geraldton. Of course. Welcome everyone. If there's anyone who is new, please do introduce yourself and tell us about the awesome car you either have or you have on order after you've unmuted yourself.
I'm Adam. I've been a member for a few months, but this time I attend the meeting. I have a Model 3 Red 2022.
Fantastic. Congratulations. And congratulations on your awesome car. And welcome to the show.
Thank you.
All right. Anyone else that is new would like to unmute and say hello? Or perhaps a little bit later. That's totally cool. So you can certainly do that later on.
Right.
Oh, do we get someone?
G'day.
Martin.
Yep, Martin here.
Welcome.
We've got a new white Model 3 long range.
Very good. Congratulations. Tell us about how did you come to get that car?
Live out in the country and work in Perth occasionally, so it seemed to suit the bill.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And the thing is, talking about the country, we've obviously got some very big news from the country, which we're going to cover very shortly. We've got Sandra Geary from Synergy, and she'll be going through some of the aspects of the newly livened WA EV network. Okay, anyone else that wants to say hello? We might try and go for a triple this week. Or not. It's totally cool. Sandra, would you like to perhaps unmute? Awesome.
Hi, everyone. So live from Geraldton as well, obviously.
Hi.
It's fresh news, fresh news. You want to share, Harold, some pictures, or do you want me to?
I've only got one picture. Oh, actually, I've got another one. You can 2 seconds.
I have a few if you want. Like it's
we've got this one here. Whoops. I hope that is that actually worked.
Yeah, it's working.
So you can
There you
see.
go. Yeah.
Yep. So Sandra, would you like to describe this photo?
Yeah, dream team. So it's missing a lot of people that have worked really hard to get there. But yeah, more or less since Monday we left to Geraldton, and we've been through the commissioning of Geraldton site and Northampton site. And this is the picture of the Geraldton site. So in Geraldton, we have 2 times 150 kilowatt chargers. It's Kempower chargers, as you know, 2 times CCS2. So you can have 4 cars charging simultaneously. I have a picture later because we did a bit of a test. And so Howard was keen enough to come with us and help us to commission with this car as well, and providing all his knowledge as usual. So it was really cool. We had a jet charge that came with a Polestar. We have Synergy team who come with a Kona, and we have Harold who come with his Model Y. And funny enough, while we were commissioning, we were walking around a bit because not much we can do while they're doing the test drive. And then we met with Steve from the Nullarbor. I'm sure you know Steve with his Model S. Yes, thanks for the pics. Who was like just walking his dogs, waiting that his car was getting recharged on a very low charger. And so before we know, the chargers were ready to be tested. So we call him and he did, I think 20 kilometers, is it right? Harold, was that 20 kilometers
Yes,
away or something?
yeah, he actually he was already 20 kilometers away from Geraldton on his way to Jurien Bay, being a bit pessimistic about actually making it because there was a huge headwind. And then I asked Rob Dean to give him a call because I didn't have his number and say, hey, you can come and charge your car now. So he hurriedly spun around and did 20 Ks back. And actually, just one thing that was really interesting was one of the cables had a little bit of water in it. So when Steve first plugged in, bearing in mind he actually just burnt 40 kilometres of the meagre range he had left to get to Jurien Bay. So he comes back to Geraldton, and when he first plugged the car into his CCS adapter, it wouldn't charge. And I had this sinking feeling in my gut thinking, oh no, this poor guy's going to now have to charge for about another at least half an hour on AC just to recover what he spent. But thankfully on the second nozzle, it worked perfectly well.
Yeah, so we were able to like try the both chargers at the same time. So 4 cars charging simultaneously. And that was awesome because we tripped the the transformer. So that was awesome because this is exactly the kind of mistake that you want to do when you're doing the commissioning, because you have the electrician, you have everyone from every different corporation. So that was really great to have this opportunity. So yeah, thanks again for all of the ones that have been involved. So that's what Geraldton site is looking. It's on the foreshore for those of you who know a bit Geraldton. So it's very close to cafe, very close to amenities. You have toilets and everything, walking distance. The cafe behind is pretty good as well. So yeah, it's a very nice site. Yeah, it's up and running. I guess the only thing right now is it's a soft launch in the way that the official launch for Geraldton is happening with, politicians and so on, is happening on the 17th of April. So it's a soft launch after now. But we will sure have a media release from the minister anytime soon now. And while you can charge and you can use your app on ChargeFox, or you can use your RFID card. However, the PayMate, I don't know if you have a handy pictures close by, Harold, but the PayMate, which should allow you to pay with credit card in case you don't have the ChargeFox app, for the moment is not fully commissioned yet. So at the moment, we are hoping it's going to happen before the end of this week. But right now it is not working yet. So you can charge your car, but with the app or the RFID card.
It does actually. I have got a video that I took, I think it was this morning, using the PayMate. But as Sandra said, it's not fully configured. But here's just a quick video of sort of what you can do just with a credit card.
Nice.
Just run this. What I'm doing next is just selecting the top charger nozzle, tap the card. It's now approved. And basically it's starting to charge once you hit, well, you can just hit done. And it's already charging the car. And this is just with a tap and go PayWave credit card ramping up. And then to actually turn it off, you can just do it from your car, of course. Or you can just press to select to turn off, tap your card, and that then turns it off. Stop charging. And there it is. So that's how easy it is to use just a basic credit card, which is great for international tourists and anyone that doesn't have the ChargeFox app or a Signal or a ChargeFox card, RFID card.
Yeah, exactly. So
Good
yeah,
move
it was
covering up the
really
card
good.
number, Harold.
I did. No, that's why I covered up with my thumb.
I was about
So-
to screenshot it and order a Cybertruck.
That's because it's a synergy card.
Yeah, no, that-
low at the moment.
That was my personal one. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
been running a bit low, but no, I did deliberately cover up my numbers so that
I got declined the other day when I used it, so just had to back off a little bit.
that's actually because the expiry date just rolled over, Jared. So
I know.
apologies.
I'm waiting
Apologies
for
for
the new
that.
one to come. That's all right. New
Now-
one's coming.
The thing that everyone wants to see is how the actual charging session went. And one of the things you can actually do is on the Kempower unit is you can actually scan a QR code into your phone, and that basically opens up a web page. So this is actually one of the screenshots I took. This charge we actually did later this afternoon, and I basically had the car. I added 200 kilometers of range to the car, and that took just a bit over 16 minutes. So you can actually see that I peaked at 111 kilowatts, and that's basically because the charger actually topped out at 300 amps. And because my LFP battery's got a low voltage, basically I was getting 111 kilowatts, but I think that was nearly 900 kilometers of range per hour, something like that. So in just over 16 minutes, I got 200 Ks of additional range, which is the whole point of doing this. So that's just how awesome it is. And you can actually charge two cars simultaneously, which is great too. And for that, you'll get, I think my car got 60, wasn't quite perfect. My car got 68 kilowatts added, and the Polestar next to me was 69 kilowatts. So again, super fast charging when there are two cars plugged in at the same time.
I guess we were quite pleased as well with the CCS2 plug. Like you can see the cable management, it's quite heavy. It's always a bit surprising, but like, yeah, it's quite heavy. It's heavier than the one we are used to be honest. But the cable management is really easy to move around. Like you can do a 180 really easily. So wherever you're gonna park, it should be pretty easy to plug your cable. So yeah, we play a little bit with it as well, trying different configuration, and it's pretty good. It's very long, so hopefully it should be yeah, suiting every kind of EVs and wherever the plague is.
Unless you're towing a trailer and ruining the weekend.
Well, you can leave your trailer just in front of this parking because there is a trailer
But you then
parking
have
just
to-
in front. you have to undo
unhitch
it.
the trailer.
Yeah, that's
to
right.
reverse the
That's
Tesla
right.
in.
That's right.
We need more drive-throughs.
And,
I
and in
know.
fairness to the project, the thing is that Synergy offered the vast majority. If you look at council documentation, at the City of Greater Geraldton, Synergy actually offered a drive-through solution, but in their wisdom, the City of Greater Geraldton basically approved the format that is there now, and that was at their own wisdom in doing so. So it's not Synergy or Horizon Power's fault if the council's local government areas don't pick the right solution. It
But
is
they
their
didn't.
land.
They didn't have words with them strong enough to say this is not the ideal situation.
Well, I
Well-
think, Nigel, I'm going to take you with me next time so that we can see how you can negotiate with them, right? And if your Australian touch is going better than my French touch, then I'll take you on me.
Is Nigel comes with a black belt touch as well, which tends to help in these situations.
Yeah.
But I've just had a tow bar fitted by Tesla last week, so I'm going to be getting a trailer, and
Nice.
won't be
You're
going
right.
to Gerald.
You're right. Most of the time, we tried every single time we approached the LGA, we have asked for a drive-through if possible and where possible. But that's really when you get in the details of the land ownership that it becomes a nightmare. And most LGAs don't even know really well their land, and they think they have management order over a piece of land while they don't. And it becomes very complicated to find a piece of land that is really owned by the LGA or managed by the LGA that is suitable for a drive-through, because we can't be too far from amenities either. So like it can't be prime parking because we don't want to be iced, but it can't be too far because you want, like if you come to charge, you want to be able to go for a coffee, you want to be able to go to a playground, to amenities, whatever there is. You don't want to be lost in the middle of nowhere and feel unsafe and do nothing. And ideally, you won't stay more than half an hour, so you don't want to walk forever either. So it's quite complicated. Yeah, you're right. And I think out of the 22, I think I said it last time, I think it's 8 of them out of the 22 sites that Synergy is in charge of. So is it good enough? Probably not, but this is what we were able to do. So
I think it's still brilliant, Sandra, what's happening. And the fact that you've got 8 out of the 22 as a drive-through is better than none by a long way.
100%.
Yes, but they are meant to be acting in our best interest, and I think they often forget why they're there and meant to serve the people. I think of all the ones, Sandra, that they should have approved them all, and with some exceptions, I suppose, if it's difficult, but they've certainly got the ability. They don't have the will.
Yeah, it's a bit of both, to be like totally honest with you, Peter. Like there is some LGAs that you think they have lands where they can do the drive-through, but actually they are not managing this land. It's not their land. Often it's like PTA or main roads, or like I have known so many different things I didn't even know about during this project. Like, so it's not always their fault. And I was very surprised that most LGAs, I'm taking care of 10 out of the 22 LGAs. And out of the 10, seriously, like 9 of them are really proactive and really on board and doing their best to have it on board. They are very excited about it and they just do their best, but they don't have much either, because drive-through often you have to create a parking as well.
Sure.
And they don't have the budget for that. Nobody gives them any budget for that. So the minister has chosen, oh, well, Lanflin, here you go, you get an EV charger. Oh, Coolgardie, you get an EV charger, but I don't give you anything to create the parking. So most of the time they prefer to use the parking that already exists because they don't have a budget to create a whole island to do a drive-through or whatever it is, and putting a lamp and this and that, because this is not provided by the project. So they have to pay for that. You know what I mean? So to be fair, they do their best and they have been quite on board, most of them. So yeah, it's better than nothing, I guess.
I know what you say, that's good. But if it was a petrol one, there's always a drive-through one, always. They wouldn't accept anything but that. So we're getting the dregs, but I certainly appreciate where you're coming from and the work you've done. And I think that's fantastic.
Yeah,
no,
but
you're
with
right.
With a petrol station, they're private.
Yeah, I was going to say it's private land. Yeah, and that's the main difference.
You're working here with the local government authorities who they've got Yes, I won't say it,
I
but
don't
they
think
don't
that's
have the most
fair, Todd.
intelligent people there.
Yeah.
No, the
I don't-
difference with a petrol station is that the petrol station will have its own toilets and its own shop and its own amenities. So
Hmm.
the once we're putting in, like they do in California, once we're putting in 40, 80, 100 stalls in one location, it will justify putting in, a shop and, your own toilets and the rest of it. So, but the main issue here is, Synergy and Horizon Power are doing, an absolutely fantastic job with the amount of money they've been given, which is, about $19.5 million towards the charges. And to put that into perspective, $19.5 million is a drop in the ocean for a state government. It's as much as a on-ramp costs onto a freeway, one on-ramp.
Less.
And
Yep.
it's about how much and it's about how much a council, spends just landscaping in just 1 year. And hopefully these charges will serve the EV community for 5, 10 years or longer. So, it's an absolutely minuscule amount, and what's been squeezed out of that $19.5 million is very commendable.
That's great. I won't lie, like we are still very excited. Like, we're waiting for so long. And I mean, not only as part of Synergy, but I mean, us working all together since like 2017, trying to make a better EV uptake in WA and so on. Like finally we got these chargers on and so on. Like I can't tell how much we were excited, like yesterday, today, the day before. Like it feels like, yeah, we are super happy. So like there's nothing we can say today that will make me grumpy because I'm super excited about it. Like,
That's the spirit, Sandra.
it's just awesome. It's just awesome. And yeah, being able to share that with you guys and having Harold coming along and helping us so much, like it brings so much more value as well. All the work that most of you have done as well to support this project and make it what it is today. It's perfect. No, it's not perfect. Is it good enough? No, it's not good enough. But you know what? It's a start and it's awesome. And it's better than what we had for the last 5 years. So it's awesome. Super happy. And today we did Northampton. So Northampton is a different configuration. It's a 150 kilowatts fast charger and one AC charger. Thanks, Harold. Brilliant. So as you can see that there is 3 bays that you can charge because there is only one fast charger with 2 plugs, CCS2 obviously. And then on the right hand side, you have the AC charger. So it's a 7.6 kilowatts. You bring your own cable kind of charger. So that's configuration will be the most common out of the sites.
Where's this
gonna
held?
be like 4 days. Is it
Northampton-
Harold? No, that's
Northampton,
another
Jared.
one.
Oh, Northampton. Okay.
Northampton, yeah. So it's just out of the main street, just in front of the council, on the other side of the council. So very nice place as well, close to the coffee, close to toilets, close to playground, very big car park, very easy access, get in, get out, very easy. So yeah, on PlugShare, it's still coming soon because as you know, PlugShare now is American, and so the time that we send them the email, they're probably gonna do it during the night. So hopefully tomorrow it will be on so that Harold will be able to do the first check-in live. But yeah, it's on and it's working. And same only the PayMate. We still have a few issues with the PayMate, so it works, but it tripped a little bit and so on. So we are putting the PayMate in coming soon still, but you can use the charger and you can pay with it with your app or with your RFID card. And hopefully the PayMate situation will be fixed before the official launch next week. So is there any question?
What?
Yeah, Harold, how much did it cost you to put that 60 kilowatts into your car?
It's 60 cents a kilowatt hour.
Yeah, 60 cents kilowatt
60
hour.
cents a kilowatt.
Yep. So that's effectively half the price of petrol equivalent. So if I had a petrol car of the same size, it's basically half the cost of petrol. if I charge my car at home for 30 cents per kilowatt hour, it would be a quarter of the price of petrol. But bearing in mind, this is a 150 kilowatt fast DC charger, which is Royal service. And even then, it's still half the price of petrol on a road
Yeah,
trip.
fantastic, fantastic.
I'd also probably just give a comment here, because we put the Model X on an novated lease, which means that that cost of that charging can be claimed back through the novated lease. And I think a lot of people that, you know, particularly with the Model Y long range, being able to go do that as well, that's probably going to be a big thing. And, you know, the X is going to be the vehicle that we're going to use now for camping and trailer caravan towing and all that. So I think that really helps as well.
Absolutely. Now, something that was actually really surprising news, and we only got this today, was if you actually look inside a Kempower unit, you can actually see the, I guess you either call it 3 banks of power modules. Each one is basically 50 kilowatts, but they're actually split into 2 sections, a channel A and a channel B. So they're 25 kilowatts each effectively. But you'll notice that it says 500 volts. And that's something that we sort of knew because this generation of Kempower units, they have 2 versions. They have like a car version, which is 500 volts, and then a bus version, which goes from 500 to 1,000 volts. But what's really cool, and I mentioned this in the news briefly, was that Kempower with a firmware update are now able to basically put these units in series, which means if you have an 800 volt, or let's call it 1,000 volt battery pack, such as I think it's the Hyundai Ioniq, the new ones, and I think the Audi e-trons, and you know, for my most important future car in the world is going to be the Cybertruck. These units will be able to charge them at full voltage, which is an awesome development, which a little bit like Tesla, it came for free with the firmware update, where they basically, all of these charger banks, they can actually sort of switch between either the left nozzle or right nozzle, and then they obviously also basically put them in series with each other and get the correct voltage that they need. So
that is genius design.
It is.
Love it.
And the great thing is, as far as reliability goes, you can, I'm not sure if it's literally hot swappable, but it's probably very close to being hot swappable, these power modules. So if there's a failure, you can pull a power module out and you can change it. So great design, great product. And even though Sandra was saying the cables are heavy, the way they've got these sprung things, it's great. You can have your car, it doesn't matter where your charge port is. When I was in the left, I was in the right hand. Let me just see if I can get this image up. Yes, you can actually see I've driven nose in, and I haven't actually got it plugged in at the moment. But even though the nozzle sort of starts at the back, you can swing it round and put it into the back of the car, no problems at all. And the Polestar is swung the other way around. But the Kona, you can have front service, rear service. It doesn't make any difference. It's very flexible.
Hats off to whoever chose Kempower. We need to buy them a beer.
Well, that would be
Sandra,
Synergy and
I will
Horizon.
take a cider, thank you. Or Paloma, or a margarita, if you don't mind.
Please tell me it was you.
It was a collaboration, obviously, but our experts, which are Harold, Thomas Brunel, but also Rob and Chris Jones.
Okay.
I definitely ask their expertise every time before the tender. Once we were in the tender, I was not allowed to talk to them, but before the tender, I asked them to like have a study with me, and we went through every single details of every single thing. I'll tell you what, these guys, like you see them doing that, but you can't even imagine how much work these guys are putting into this project, like without you knowing, but they are behind the scene and they are doing a lot of work and really providing so much knowledge and so much good collaboration.
Thanks so much, guys, on behalf of everyone, I'm sure.
Exactly. Like all of you, Pete, writing the articles for helping me as well to a lot of you guys have helped us throughout the way. So yeah, it's a massive collaboration, which is great.
I guess one advantage as well of it taking a long time, as in actually happening, is that it's given time for the technologies to to improve and then for these options to be available. So, oh man, that 800 volt thing, I didn't even think about that. And that is profound. That's huge. This is
I was
really setting up
so-
the network.
I was so worried about it because I even said to Sandra, I said, "Oh, the irony is because Kempower have only come out with the, let's call it the 200 to 1000 volt power modules only in the last few months. It's been super new,
Whoa.
and of course, but that they are not the power modules that are in this existing system because I mean they had to be purchased, a long time ago.
Mm.
And I sort of said to Sandra, "Oh, that's a bit of a shame," but you can't. It's like having a Tesla. There's no point waiting for the best thing to come along because it always gets better and better with age, or each iteration becomes slightly better. But you've got to just draw a line in the sand and say, look, let's just build this thing and get on with it. But it was awesome just to find out that with just one firmware update, Kempower went,
Fantastic.
well, we can just put 2 power modules in series. Hence, you get your 800 volt class of charging. And they've basically achieved something that we never thought could happen. So, and it didn't cost any money.
Fantastic.
It was just, just a free update, which is awesome.
Yeah, we quite like the
That's
stackable
brilliant.
option. The stackable option provide us as well with a kind of like future-proof feature, because we don't know what this project is gonna go moving forward since it's a minister project, but we were trying to find something that will not be outdated when it will go out because we knew it will take 2 to 3 years before it goes out, right? So, and as
True.
Harold said, technology is moving so fast. We were really worried about having a product that will be obsolete before we even launch the bloody thing. So the stackable option was something that really attracted us. To be honest with you, when we went through the details of every single hardware, none of them were good. None of them were good enough to go through what we wanted. For example, we will have liked to have the cooling cables for this one. We will have had much power, right? But I guess out of what we had the option for and for the price as well, because once again, as Pete said before, it's a small budget. I think Kempower is a really good option. So once again, it's not the, it's not the posh things and it's not perfect, but it will provide a really good charge in a small amount of time. And to start with, it will be brilliant. And hopefully it will bring people like Tesla and so on to put more superchargers next to it. And, it will be a bit of a snowball effect of investment.
One big for
Go ahead.
me, is as you were shown before, the Northampton site. That's pretty much that configuration is pretty much the minimum in terms of you'll have one DC charger and one AC, a 7 kilowatt AC as a backup. So what's really big for me is that there will always be, assuming everything's working, there'll always be the ability to charge a minimum of 3 cars at any one site. And that's going to make a big difference, especially going forward once, I think it might only take 3 or 4 years before one in every second, every second car sold, every second new car sold will be an EV. So, there is a bit of future proofing in this. So there's, and a redundancy as well. Obviously, if the DC charges down, well, at least you can charge at 7 kilowatts, and you can trickle your way to the next charger. If the AC is down, well, the DC is working. So yeah, it's
also cheaper, Pete.
That was the idea.
And it's also cheaper. So is it correct, Sandra? It's 35 cents per kilowatt hour.
Yes, for the AC.
For the AC.
And
that's a brilliant.
The reason is to be a bit more expensive than your A1 tariff, because we don't want local to stay there forever and use the charger. It's a backup charger, as you say very well. Like you have the DC chargers at the main charger, and then you have the AC charger that is more of a backup charger. So it doesn't prevent people to use it if they want to go for 3 hours or whatever. But on the DC charger, you will have idle fee as well. That will happen before the end of the year. So like you don't want to spend more time than what you need because it's going to cost you a lot of money. I guess we wanted to keep a price that is competitive. So 60 cents for the 150 kilowatts, it's pretty decent price, and it's to stay competitive so that we don't kill the market. particularly when we are next to our AC chargers or next to a Tesla charger. You know, we want to be quite competitive there. And so the price will be reviewed every year. We will see if it's suitable, but we thought it's great if we just put it a little bit more expensive than your price at home so that people don't use it if they don't need to, kind of thing. So yeah, that was the
Absolutely.
idea there. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
And that
Otherwise,
is a
you'll get-
masterful stroke. That's absolutely perfect, because you don't want people just being lazy and taking a nice shady spot in a park and hogging it. You know,
Sandra,
Would you mind pulling up that photo of the northern, that Northampton site and just pointing out where the AC charger is? I couldn't quite see it in the photo.
Oh, yeah,
sorry, I
sure.
should have another picture as well.
so it's here. It's this square. It's this looks like a little phone booth. So that's it there. So you've got two nozzles, one to the left, one to the right.
Sandra, you didn't spend too much money on the hotel, did you? It looks very nice. Curtains in the background.
Really?
Is it the Geraldton International that you're staying at?
No,
No.
I don't even know about this one. No, we're just at the Ocean Center.
Oh, okay. It's not a
No,
dodgy.
nothing fancy, mate. Like,
Nothing
I tell you
fancy.
what, nothing fancy. We haven't slept well at all.
Oh, it's all 5-star in Geraldton.
It's just basic
It's
accommodation.
very basic, yeah. Very
Gold
basic.
ashtray. Stuff. So,
No, nothing fancy, mate. It's government, you know. It's like, nope. nope.
Now
But
something
better
just
than
to,
the swag, I guess.
just to highlight the fact that, you know, the charge rate we're getting. This is just a screen capture from my phone, and even, you know, at 111 kilowatts, you think, oh well, that's not awesome, but I'm getting 809 kilometers per hour, and that's what it's all about. And I got 200 kilometers added in just a bit over 16 minutes, and this is with a low voltage LFP pack. So if this was a NCA battery, so such as your long range 3s or Ys that you can now order, it'll be even faster than that. So that's really the money shot, is, you know, 809 k's an hour as opposed to 80 kilometers an hour on AC. So this is 10 times the power that you'd normally get on an 11 kilowatt AC charger. And that just speaks volumes, because on my first day in 2018 in my Model X that now Richard Chapman has, I went from Perth to Carnarvon, and I spent 7 hours and 9 minutes of charging that car in the daytime after I'd left home before I got to Carnarvon. And
that difference is even far more significant for other cars that can only charge on single phase.
Yes.
So,
Yep. And you know, it's funny, my car at the moment, it's like less than half full, and I'm going to drive to Northampton tomorrow morning. So in the terms that I've been telling Sandra and the Synergy people, so I can wee on their tree and, you know, plug in, check in, take a photo, and, you know, have it as a green pin. But I don't care, because then when I get back to Geraldton, I'll only have to charge for about 35 minutes and I'll be nearly full. Oh no, I'll be quite depleted by then, and I'll be able to replenish almost all my charge in just a bit over half an hour. So what? Doesn't matter. That's how awesome it is.
Right.
We'll probably find that the vast majority of charges will be sort of between 20 and 25 minutes, because most people won't be charging to 100%. So
exactly.
Alison had a question. She wanted to know if any of the charges are actually going to be in gold. Are you actually planning on making any of them like gold charges, because she likes gold stuff? So
I wish, Alison, that I could have put a bit of my magic on the colors or on the marketing background, but as you can see, there again nothing fancy.
there you go.
Really basic.
But it's got one job to do, and it's just got to jam electrons into a car as hard as possible. And it does that job really well.
Though, but
and as reliably as possible. And what's fantastic is, last time Sandra was on Ask Us Anything, she mentioned that Synergy already has spare parts in Perth ready to go, which is absolutely fantastic. Yep.
Yeah, to be honest with you, Pete, we were a bit worried going to Geraldton because Geraldton, the box, the charger itself has been on for quite some time, as you all know, and we were waiting other stakeholders to come in so that we can commission these chargers. So we were very worried about vandalism because these chargers have been put on for like 3 months or so, and we arrived and they were good. So we had a bit of graffiti on the transformer or on the switchboard, and that was about it. So like now we are like really, really tight until the official launch. We are like, please don't smash the thing. But yeah, fingers crossed. But yeah, we have spare parts because it's very easy, and we know until they create, like, once again, that proves that the Kempower is good, but we will have loved a charger that give us, none of the chargers that we have seen during the tender provided a solution for vandalism, like a lock system or like, you know, something that stay plugged until you have to put your RFID card or something. So yeah.
Sandra, have you put some preventative solutions in place? Have you contacted the cash converters up there and showed them photos of the charges and let them know they're yours, so they don't sort of like end up getting, you know, dropped off there, so to speak? Maybe it's a good idea.
Yeah, maybe it's a good idea, Jared.
Take some photos and say, this is our charge, can we? And then they won't, you know, cash it in, so to speak.
Sure.
I think that's probably what you need to do. But,
The thing is, notwithstanding any thefts or whatever, the great news is in less than 12 months, this is going to be the map that will be fulfilled.
Yep.
You know, and you know, we've just ticked off Northampton and Geraldton, 2 out of the 49 locations, but there are 47 other locations that are being installed or in the process of being installed as we speak. This project is going ahead.
does that mean we're all going to be blue? Is that a part of the map, or is that we're going to
Blue
be
is the synergy.
Oh, okay. I thought you meant blue like Rajneeshi. We're all going to be sort of like painted in blue. I thought it was going to be a big thing going on. Sec. Sorry.
20 to go for us. Easy.
Exactly.
A walk in the park.
Thank you, Sandra, for everything you do.
Yes.
I just expect Hal to do these sort of things, drive up there and you know, put in charges, commission charges. If you need him to clear any dirt at any other charges, Errol's free to get up there and shovel a few bits of sand and he'll put down the base and something like that. So
Well, one thing I got to do is get the tritium charger, the Tokwa charger at the port, and bring it back to the safety of Perth, because it unfortunately failed a couple of weeks ago, and luckily, you know, there are 2 Kempowers that are there to replace it, so no one's going to miss them.
no.
It served its job though, and
Yeah.
it's been a godsend for a lot of EV trucks, an absolute godsend.
And speaking of timing, look, the awesome timing, and it was great that Synergy and I presume, you know, the ministers and whatever agreed to actually, as soon as these chargers were commissioned, to allow them to be soft launch so people can use them, because obviously by the end of this week, it's the Easter school holidays. So there will be people that will be able to go to Kalbarri and go to at least Carnarvon. I mean, by the way, Carnarvon is only 425 kilometres from Northampton. So you can have a short...
It's just a short drive.
Yeah, so if you drive a bit carefully, or even on a standard range car, you will almost make it without a top up at Billabong Homestead Roadhouse. But you could, you know, for an hour while you're having lunch at Billabong, get yourself to Carnarvon. And that's due to this project being available now as a soft launch, you know, which is an awesome thing too. It's great.
And Carnarvon's got so much to do up there. There's you know, lots of activities.
Well, it has, and it's on the way to Exmouth, and that's going to get dark on the 20th of April, 23rd of April, 20th.
20th, according to the website I just checked out.
Oh,
Yes.
I don't think
I know
there's a lot of people up there.
BYD owner.
Say again,
I know of a
Shane?
very happy I know of a very happy BYD owner who is planning to drive from Karratha to Esperance. When he saw this one come online, he was very excited. So I take it that Northampton's going to be on tomorrow, so that'll make him even happier.
No, it works
It's
now.
already
No,
on.
it's already on.
on.
It's just that
Oh, okay.
the plug share
Just the
pin.
payment.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, it's just the payment
that'll
that
make-
doesn't
Oh.
work, and the plug share pin that is coming soon, but the charger is operational and you can already charge your car in Northampton. It's just because it's an American thing, the times that they update the pin, it takes a little bit longer. But no, it has been commissioned today, so it is working.
He will be very, very pleased.
Absolutely.
I think I
Guys,
saw someone as well on the Tokwa Facebook page, someone that was gonna travel as well around in the area and so on. So yeah, I think a lot of people will be very pleased to use this one, and hopefully next one will be like, in the coming months we will be able to commission hopefully Albany, Williams, Walpole, Menjimup, Lenslin, and Joyan Bay. The civil works are already done for all these sites. We have received the charger from the boat finally, 4 months delayed last week. So they should be branded next week. So hopefully May is gonna be a very busy month, and we should be able to commission a couple of these ones, and May, June, yeah, we should have these 6 sites hopefully working. So
Do
Yeah.
any of them have a voice prompts with that female accent? I think that's an important aspect you should leave behind.
yeah, I'm sure. So that to make sure they don't understand anything that they should do. Good point. Yeah, I'm not sure the marketing is very right.
I think that would be your good legacy to leave it behind.
Speaking of understanding, if you have anyone tell you from this point on that a EV is only good as a city car in WA, then just tell them to Google Tokwa, TOCWA, WA EV network, and hopefully, sorry, I'm trying to bring it up. Hopefully, as Sandra mentioned earlier, they'll get that article come up on our website, and yeah, you can tell them that it's already started, and yeah, it's got the map of where the other 20 charges for Synergy and the other 25 odd charges for Horizon are going to be with 49 all up. So
That's good. So, Peter, you're going to sneak into Northampton tonight to beat Harold there tomorrow morning, just so you can get.
oh, you've uncut. Why'd you tell him? Oh, why'd you tell him, Jared?
He'll be guarding it there. He'll be.
I've already- I've already-
There he is.
I've already been there just quietly and charged, but
Yeah. Too
He's
late.
an
Can I share
experienced
the
campaigner, Harold.
pictures?
He's on
We'll
to
do
it
the next
already.
one, Pete, don't worry.
Am I allowed to share the pictures, Harold?
yes, of course, Sandra. Yeah, you can share away anything you've got. But
Just ones with clothes on, preferably, please. It's small women and children and animals.
no, it's all good. There we go.
There you go.
Oh
Very
no,
nice.
put that away.
Very
No,
nice.
next, no.
No, keep that up. Let's just see to get a
Farmer
photo.
or something. Was that
No,
a
no.
farmer filling
Okay.
up his battery-powered tractor?
So yeah, that'll do.
Oh, yeah.
Jerry, mate. All right, next photo.
Hey,
Yeah.
Harold,
Very
you get a
good.
straw in the side of your mouth.
Yeehaw.
Yeehaw.
Yes.
Oh, gold.
It was a great look. I must admit, the euphoria was just immense. Like, I mean, it doesn't do much. It just jams electrons in a car, but just to see the magic happen, it was actually quite an emotional time, really. It was such a relief that it was working. And the funny thing is, we're actually observing history in the making. This is a historic moment for
Is it what?
WAEVs. You know, it's the first of 40, the first 2 of 49 locations. You know,
It's like the Olympic Games of EVs. It's just a proud moment.
well, it is, and this is a marathon, not a sprint. You know, the thing is,
Yep.
in in about 12 months, they'll even be pretty close to even completing the Nullarbor charges. Yeah, pretty close. So, but everything except for the Nullarbor will be done in less than 12 months.
Wow.
Yeah, how good's that?
Right.
You know, we've been thinking about it, wanting about praying, hoping, whinging, and now it's happening. You can go to Kalbarri and just slam straight to Geraldton. Yes, you might have to, if you've got a short range car, temporarily go to Jurien Bay and pay you $50 for the hour charging, but that'll be fixed in a couple of months. And Lancelin, you can go Lancelin and frolic around, and Albany. Well before Tesla gets there, we already know Tesla's putting a supercharger at the same location, but they're going to be months and months and months delayed. As soon as you'll have that done, in the next month or so, how awesome's that? Ravensthorpe, another one where you can get to Esperance. Then Esperance is on Horizon Power's network, but then you'll have Norseman, Coolgardie, Southern Cross, Meriden.
Are they going to do one in Horse Creek, Harold?
Walpole. Sorry, Jared.
Is there going to be one in Horse Creek?
Yes, and Warman,
Yeah.
and Fitzroy Crossing, and Derby, and Broome, and Kununurra, Pardue, Port Hedland, Karratha, Billabong Roadhouse, Nanyatara, Manila Roadhouse, Denham.
And fine.
Yeah, it's you're just like I don't know what to say. It's just as soon as this stuff gets done, there's going to be just a whole lot of us going to be doing road trips just for the sake of it, just so we can wee on all these trees. It's just what we're just going to go all the way to Kununurra and go all the way back and then go all the way to Eucla just because we can.
It'll be useful just to take them for granted. That's the big thing.
Yeah.
Well, Pete Petrosky's already does his shopping in Geraldton, so now I'll just go that little bit further.
Well, it's closer than the city, so yeah.
Yeah, that's my mate. So
We already live in South Geraldton, so yeah.
that's right.
But no, like Harold was saying, this changes everything. I remember when we went to Walpole last year, and we were, we had John Edwards's little trailer on the back. What was that, Harold? What was that charger? Remind me. I've got a mental blank where we had to use the hardware one on the way down to Walpole. The home hardware that we had to use. We ended up having to be there for 3 hours.
At Kojonup.
Yeah. So so there we are going down to a family holiday. There's 2 other families waiting for us. We'll admittedly left a bit later than we wanted to, and we get to Kojonup, and because there is only the single charger, and it happened to be out of action, that's it. We had no other option. So no other option but to go to the hardware store and use the Tesla destination charger and watch a movie for 3 hours. And then we just sort of limped into Walpole, but now there'll be a WA EV network charger in Walpole, plus all the other stops on the way down there. So,
well, actually,
yeah.
James has just put something in the chat. Sorry, so 2 seconds. He just put something in the chat, which is like, here you go. You're at Northampton, and there's your string of pearls. You got Geraldton, Jurien Bay, Lancelin, Perth, Karrinyup, Williams, Manjimup, Walpole, Albany.
So basically, last year when we went down, all I did was go to Williams and then Kojonup and Walpole. Those were really my only, options on the way down. Whereas, look, it's like when we were, when my brother and I went to Melbourne from Sydney, and then we drove from Melbourne directly to Sydney. And when we were in Melbourne, I just put in Sydney, and I had a choice of like 11 or 12 different superchargers to choose from. We only needed 2 for about 20 minutes each time, but that's a 10.5-hour journey. But yeah, it just changes everything. It just makes, with kids and what have you, even if you're towing, it just makes everything doable, and it makes it a pleasure. rather than, being on the side of the road for 3 hours at, 11 o'clock at night. So,
And the fact that you can charge, I've just shown that you can charge a car, get 200 k's of range in a bit over a quarter of an hour. So imagine that I forgot to fill my car up, and tomorrow morning I want to take the kids or whatever and go somewhere. It's like, oh, bummer, we'll have to just, go to the nearest local fast DC charger and just spend a quarter of an hour while we have breakfast. And then we're on the road and we're on to the next place. Do that on AC and you go, oh, well, in fact, I did this. I did this at, it was near in top end of the Northern Territory. I forget the place now. Actually, Charles, you'll know where it is. Near Catherine, Mataranka Homestead. Mataranka Homestead.
exactly.
So I'm actually
great.
going.
Love that spot.
It's a
I go
good
there all the
spot.
time.
It's
Stay there
yeah.
every time. It's a good
I pop up there for the weekend
Absolutely.
sometime.
Well, what I'm going to show
That
you.
won the Golden Ash.
Well,
Right.
what I'm going to show you
Beautiful
is, oops, Mataranka. Here we go. Now I'm going to do this. I'm going to risk it doing it live, but this is Mataranka in the Northern Territory, and I'm just going to bring up some photos because I know my photo is here. We've got slow internet at the moment. Come on, and I'm going to show you something.
Why
That,
don't you take start now?
here we go. Now, see this. This was a photo I took in the morning as I was ready to leave because it was just sort of like on dawn. It was early. But you'll notice something. This is just a portable EVSE. It's a juice booster. But you'll notice that it's actually laying on the ground and it's not plugged into my car. And this was on the 12th of November 2018. What I did was the night before I went and I plugged in, went and had some dinner. You have to walk a fair way back this way. And I finished dinner, went back to my car. I was too lazy to take the bags out of my car and go to the chalet that I was staying in. So I drove my car to the chalet, unloaded it, came back, and then went back to the chalet. But what I forgot to do was plug back in.
Yeah.
So what happened was it was, I don't know, 5 o'clock in the morning or whenever it was when it was daybreak. And then I realized that, well, I only had 100 kilometers of range in my car. I would need to wait another 3.5 hours to fill my car. So rather than leaving at 5 o'clock or 5:30, I left at 9:30. And there's nothing I could do. I just had to go back to my room, lay down and have a rest and just go, well, that was awkward. But, with a fast DC charger, I spend 15 minutes. So what? That's the difference.
Game changer.
It's like no one frets in a petrol car if you've got an empty tank. You just go, well, I'll just go around the corner and fill up. Well, now we can basically go around the corner and fill up.
You got more time to spend on your hand
I
now, Harold.
challenge that. I challenged that, Harold. While I was charging at Butchera, I had 2 motorcycles and 3 cars come through asking where the nearest fuel was, and they weren't going to make it.
There is none at Putera.
There is none. There is none. That's
Great
right.
spot, Putra. Love it.
But yeah, so it's awesome beyond belief. It's not Europe. It's not, they haven't got fast DC chargers literally everywhere. And, something we can do as a community once this project is finished is we'll go to all the politicians, all the lobbyists, all anyone that wants to listen. This is phase 1. Let's do the Great Northern Highway. Let's do some other routes, Carragini and other things that are great to go to. Let's do all those things next, because if you can do 49 locations for $20 million,
Absolutely.
for another, imagine what you do with $50 million.
Yeah.
Sandra, I've got a question for you. Sandra, have you been to Cheesy?
Have I been to Cheesy?
No, have you ever been to Cheesy
Nope.
in France? Where Disneyland is? Cheesy. Never been to Cheesy?
Nope.
Oh, okay. Sorry. Never been to Disneyland in France?
Nope.
Oh, Jesus. Oh. You ever been to France?
You just
Jared,
Jared,
Not too
Jared,
bad.
we're going to Disneyland in France in June.
really?
Do you want to come?
I've been there twice. Is it called cheesy?
Yeah, me too, but not since I was about 12.
Oh, I think I was about 40 when I went. I was a bit old, but lovely spot, great spot.
You can come with me, Jared.
Okay, done.
Well, hopefully they will have removed the bin from then.
I can't believe you haven't been to cheesy, Sandra. Oh, that's so upsetting.
Oh yeah, sorry. I'm traveling a bit.
All right, now this is the section. Well, we've now done the WIEV network. The first two sites. So what I should do, as this is Ask Us Anything, apart from asking us anything about the WIEV network, are there any other questions that anyone else has got in general about their new car, about the fact that Tesla has, in their wisdom, finally decided to allow us to order long-range Model Ys for the first time ever? Thanks, Tesla. Says me, with 2 performance Model Ys on a ship that has arrived at the port, I think. What do we make of that? Oh, but the fact is, it will be below the luxury car tax threshold, which means those long-range Model Ys, you can novate the leases on them. There is no fringe benefits tax, and any company that buys them can get a 100% instant depreciation, which is a big deal. Asset write-off. They can depreciate it to 0 and get that as a deduction in this tax year.
I wonder how many of the MY performances are suddenly going to be cancelled.
Yeah, I think it'll be a lot.
And become available as stock as they order.
It should be good too.
There was a few on the site at the moment, Harold, the performance Model Ys earlier today.
As inventory, awesome.
As inventory.
I'll just bring that up.
Really, Alex?
Inventory. Yeah, I had a look earlier today. A few performance Model Ys on there.
No surprise, because people will flip them. Just bring it up now.
Here in Perth. It was Perth.
It's got 8 coming in on the next boat for his Honest Beach Rentals. He's got 8 of them coming in. So
at the moment, there's only one Model 3, and then if you go to Model Ys, oh yes, you've got a few. Performance, 3 performances.
Ooh,
6.
Yeah.
8.
I like
8
the silver
performance cars.
I like the
Sorry?
silver. I like that new silver.
Well, it's available for you. We can get you into this car straight away, Jared.
Yeah.
You can buy now, no more to pay. About $108,000. It's yours. Oh, there's another one.
Those performance
108,
in stock cars have actually been available for a while. They haven't just suddenly gone on today because of cancellation.
Gotcha.
I was at Tesla on Thursday and they said, no, we've got quite a few, and we went on and there was 8 available, I think. And they were
it's the same
stock
ones.
items that had been sent.
So why haven't they allocated out to people who are waiting for those exact same configurations?
It's called torture, Steve. They like to torture them a little bit, mess them up.
I know they've got a
Well, Steve, it
guaranteed
makes-
sale, but gosh, come on.
Part of the Guantanamo
No, it makes
Bay.
sense, Steve. As a Tesla shareholder, as many of us are, why would you allocate an inventory car to someone that gets further in the queue when you've already got them on the hook? You might as well just flog it to the next person that walks through the door as a new sale. Just like they did with Allison, who went, oh, I don't know, maybe I want a Tesla, maybe I don't. Oh, have you got one in stock? Yes, we do. Oh, I'll have it now then. Job done. You know?
I understand the logic, but the frustration, of course, when you're watching your VIN still sitting in Singapore waiting to be loaded, and it gets later and later. And don't show that violin again.
You know I'm gonna. You absolutely know I'm gonna find it.
Oh,
the first world issues.
Alison spent weeks and weeks colouring in her car to get it gold. About 4 weeks with a little tech stuff, colouring in every little bit of the car, getting it all gold. So I think you can wait for a car to come in, Steve. I think it's just the way it goes.
And your other comment earlier about people changing their orders. My brother in Canberra has already changed his order from a rear-wheel drive to a long range because it fits just in the his leasing profile. So he's done that already.
Yeah, well, wouldn't you?
Absolutely, and that does make a lot of sense because it's just such a perfect confluence, isn't it? And this is just for you, Steve. You know, really, I think you really ought to just give that a go. You know, it's tragic.
While you're doing that, Harold, of course, you did say you had two sitting in on the ship in Fremantle, didn't you? So perhaps a bit of your own violin
been
playing.
sleeping down at the wharf for the last 3 nights. What are you talking about?
And bearing in mind, Steve, I was confirmed as the very first order in all of Australia.
Mm-hmm.
And poor old Ken was probably the third person to order in all of Australia, and his ship is in Singapore enjoying the ambiance of the tropical paradise that it is.
Yeah, because they love sitting in humid environment.
At least the UV index is lower, so it's not that bad. And look, I mean, you know, there are some of us that have got, you know, there's 1 or 2 of us in this room that might have a Model X on order that we've only been waiting since January 2021, and there's no sign. And then other of us have got Cybertruck orders since late-ish November 2019, before the world went to pot with a certain little pandemic.
And some of us have got
And we'll be
orders
waiting
that their
3
wives
years.
don't know about.
I actually was shocked when Patrick showed me on Gumtree, there were about, was it 4? 3 Model Ys, one with 2,000 kilometers, one with 4, and one with 5, all for sale.
Yeah.
So are people not enjoying their little naughty looking Model Ys?
No, they're changing to performance ones. So for instance, I've got a look, Alison. What is it going to take for me to get you into a Model Y standard range? I can offer you a car that's done. Let's have a look. I think it's about 5,000 kilometers. Let's just have a little 5,000 kilometers.
What about the
I just
other
checked
one,
that I'm
Harold,
not.
that's just been around Australia and it's got that one kangaroo dent? That one's going. Oh yeah.
No. There's no kangaroo dent. It's a polish mark. Don't you worry about that.
It was blessed at church the other week.
It was 5,499 kilometers. I can offer you a Poverty Pearl White with black interior Model Y, less than 6 months old, and I can also offer you a heritage car. It's been part of history. It was the first of 2 cars that simultaneously go around Australia at the same time, which is what simultaneous means, I think. It's only done 28,868 kilometres. I'll tell you what, I'll even drive it all the way from Geraldton straight to Perth to deliver it.
Oh, you're so good.
Have I got a deal for you?
That's just a deal. You would not have me driving a Y, I'm sorry. But it's Patrick that was looking, not me. I'm happy with a sporty looking 3.
I feel like I have to ask, Harold. How much do you want?
Here we go again.
No.
But he can.
Wow.
Right. And Emma's just shouting from the other room, you're not buying another car.
But just like me, Richard can quit any time.
Well, I got to be honest. The one that's done, the heritage one for 28,000 kilometres, is going to be at a sizable discount, unfortunately. But it's all got to go because there are new cars coming in a couple of weeks, and yes, Tesla's share price isn't $1,000 a share yet, so I will be quitting them.
Hey, Harold,
but anyway,
just a quick bit of news as well. So Tesla have announced, you know how that we could vote for supercharger locations? So they've announced Southern Cross as, and it's on the map now as coming in 2025. I'll see if I can share the screen here. Give me 1 second.
2025, is that what it says?
Yeah.
So that was a bit disappointing, but
Let's hope they're sandbagging that, because that's quite a long.
yeah, let's hope.
Yeah. Out of interest, Apollo Bay and Port Augusta said 2024, and Southern Cross got 2025. So I don't know
right.
if they already had plans in motion for for any of those sites, or what the story is. But
Yeah, right. Thanks, Chuck. That's interesting. I mean, 2025. Well, let's call that 2 years, isn't it? Well, 18. Well, if it's early 2025, that's really 18, 19 months away, potentially.
But
actually, it doesn't matter because we're going to have the WAV network is in Southern Cross. Well, will be by the end of this year, effectively.
But
So-
what is frustrating though, Harold, is they've now obviously started again. So it looks like they're doing it on a quarterly cadence, and there is a total of exactly 0 sites to vote for in WA.
Yes, I did see that. Yes, I did.
There's 4 in Melbourne, where Melbourne's already got 4 superchargers. There's 1 in Brisbane. There's 1 in Orange. They're sort of backfilling in, just out of Adelaide rather than, so Port Augusta's obviously coming, so that will be really good. But yeah, you would have thought that stretch it out and get a little bit closer to WA.
How about
I have a good
Tassie?
deal
Is
for
there,
you
are there any
guys.
in? Yes, Chuck.
yeah, I was going to say, seeing as we all supported, when I say we, I mean Eastern States all supported Southern Cross last time. I've got a great deal
Oh,
for you guys.
excuse me.
You can vote for Campbelltown. You can vote for Campbelltown Tassie this time. That's a great offer. I think.
Oh,
Charles, been there, done that already. Did
Oh,
that this
good.
morning. Yeah. So, yeah, because you get
Yeah,
5
see, I-
votes. So one of my votes went to Campbelltown in Tassie. So
Yeah, there are
and you
very
can't vote
few-
more than once.
You can vote 5 times.
No, but
Yeah.
not the same location. Only once
No.
per location. Yeah.
That's right. Yeah. Yeah. So I think that there are only really 3 sites that are regional and worth voting for.
yes,
Which are Port Wakefield, Campbelltown, and Braidwood. There are 2 sites there, Batemans Bay and Orange in New South Wales. They've already got New South Wales government funding, so voting for them is pretty much a waste.
Yes.
So
So you should be strategic, Chuck. And actually, I don't want to sort of game the system, but should only do the 3 votes, even though you've got 2 spares. I mean, in fact, you can actually vote for other locations throughout the world. You're not restricted to your region. But yeah, if you're strategic, you really want Tessa to fill in gaps and or open new trails, such as, like you said, Chuck, in Tassie.
I think the priority should be the latter.
the regional ones.
Yes,
Yes.
absolutely.
Yeah, because putting another supercharger in a CBD of a state capital city is just stupid. Well, not stupid. They're going to do that anyway because they know that that's what they need to do,
That's
but it doesn't
exactly-
achieve
they've got-
anything.
Yeah. Yeah, they've got all the data.
Yeah.
They know exactly how busy the existing sites are, so they know exactly where they need to put them.
Hmm.
Yeah.
So,
And actually, I
how
think go, Pete.
How many superchargers in Sydney? That would have to be a dozen, wouldn't there? And-
3 or 4.
yeah.
I think
I know
there's 4 if you count the 12 store that just opened.
Right. Okay.
Let me check.
Okay. Well, there's another one. Yeah, there's
I
another
think
one.
Wollongong's got a new one as well.
Yeah, there's 3 close to the city. There's one in Campbelltown, which is kind of on the way to Canberra, and there's one about to open in Blackstone, which is on the way to the Blue Mountains.
Yeah, half a dozen. So, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. And one great thing about this WEV network is there will be many more cars. Actually, I think it was James that put in the chat a little while ago that Tokra can do a 1,000 kilometer casual meetup, which is funny because Pete and I actually did a casual meetup centered at
Barclay
Barclay
Homestead.
Homestead, and only 2 people turned up. But
Oh.
they were the 2 most important people, so we turned up at least. But seriously, again, as they build it, people will then go, well, now I can travel to Exmouth or to wherever, and then Tesla will start getting more data, and it'll prove to them that, oh, well, these cars really are adventuring outwards, and then they can have more superchargers, and they can start spreading the network. I mean, someone has to go to another Tesla reveal and yell out, circle Australia in superchargers. Just do it. And they got the technology to do it. They've got the solar panels, they've got the battery storage, they've got the superchargers. They've got people that can install them. They just need to have that impetus. And what the WEV network does. Oh, and Chuck, have you got any status, any progression with the South Australian portion of that network? Because they can power units as well.
They've installed a bunch of AC chargers so far. So they haven't actually got to the DC ones yet, as I can see.
Come on, Croaters. Come on, just because, I don't know.
Yeah, and they're calling
just because you're sipping Chardonnay in the Barossa.
Yeah, they're calling the 7 kilowatt ACs. They're calling them fast chargers.
No,
and then they're calling the 150 kilowatt plus ones rapid chargers. That's the difference: fast and rapid. I know, it's just so politicians can tick a box, I think.
If 7 kilowatts of fast
Tesla's
charge,
selling enough cars in Australia to do a bit more.
Yeah, they're not even 22 kilowatt.
Jeez.
No, and they're saying that's the primary source. I mean, I think the brilliant thing about the WEV network is they actually effectively traded the AC power for more DC power. So, it makes so much more sense, because you could imagine a Schneider sitting next to the Kempower with a nameplate of 22 kilowatts either side of a dual outlet Schneider, and that gobbles up 44 kilowatts of potential transformer capacity and network augmentation cost. And, so much better to go from, say, a 75 kilowatt dual outlet Kempower to 150 kilowatt. Then you're cooking with gas.
Yeah.
Or electricity, no gas. Sorry about that.
That was the initial business case. The initial business case was 75 kilowatt DC charger and 22 kilowatts like slow charger, or still DC but like slow charger. And so we had to revisit the whole business case, and so we had to write a lot of things to the minister to be endorsed, to change the business case, to push for the same budget, as you say, and same network augmentation with Western Power, but having one DC charger of 150 and having only a backup charger of 7.6, thinking like that there's a bigger, quicker turnover as well, because it's a highway. We don't want people to stay too long. So it was a waste of energy, really. And once again, you can thank these legends like Harold, Rob, and so on, because that's thanks to them that we were able to do that. And so, it makes a massive difference, that's for sure. And regarding Tesla superchargers, it seems like they are piggyback a lot the WAV network. So we are really strive to hear that, because we have the LGA, a lot of LGA, I can't tell which one, but we have a lot of LGA that are talking to us, telling us, hey, we have been contacted by Tesla. They want to put a new Tesla supercharger just next to your charger. Are you okay with that? And obviously we are okay with that. So after how long it's gonna take for them, to do all the admin papers and Western Power augmentation, putting a transformer, changing the transformer, because obviously Synergy have put in place the transformer that is required for our chargers, but we haven't put enough to support 6 other superchargers. So they will have to swap the transformers and so on. So how long it will take, I don't know, but I have seriously several LGAs already in the last 3 months that tell me that Tesla has approached them. So it's gonna come. I don't know when, but it seems it's coming. Yeah, that's really cool. So we'll see if they follow, but it will be great.
All the way to Kununurra. That's what they should be doing all the way. And Eucla. You know, if you're going to have the Tesla Semi doing long haul across the Nullarbor, where you need just not just superchargers but mega chargers.
Mega charge.
You know, and how good will that be for your Cybertruck and other stuff? Alrighty. So has anyone got any general questions just about cars or any other bits of news that I've been too distracted to pay attention to? And that silence was deafening.
I could talk about the Q1 results if you want. You know,
I'd rather talk about the Q2.
So do I.
Yeah, let's move
I've been
on.
loading up.
Q1 results are coming out on the 19th.
Yeah, no, I don't mean
so we just
the financial stuff, but I meant the, you know, like the deliveries and stuff like that. Yeah, I know. But anyway,
it's getting pretty good, isn't it?
Well, last month I think. How many did
settled on that lawsuit, Harold? So they're $3 million, you know, better off. Oh, sorry, paid out.
Well, sorry. Say that again, Jared.
There was a little lawsuit in America with Tesla. They settled for $3 million.
I didn't think they had actually. Let's just bring up the production.
No, that was the
production.
No, it was
no, that was the racist.
That was the racist thing. So
many years ago.
We'll park that because that's still going through the courts. But so yeah, we've got the delivery figures. So we've got production at 440,000 and deliveries at 422. And of course, some of the analysts had a bit of a whinge in saying, "Oh, well, you know, your inventory's gone up by by about 20,000 units, more units than previously."
Well,
and it's because
that are on the boat.
They're on the boat. You know, the two performance Model Ys that I'll be getting, you know, later this month didn't make it into Q1 because they were having a 1 month holiday in Singapore. Yeah. Just the same as, in fact, Steve's Model Y performance and Ken's. They were all built in Q1 and they're still sucking, having a little rest in Singapore, you know. So that's just the things that
the Tesla Q people are idiots.
Oh, they're morons.
Their expectations were exceeded by those figures, and they've still got to bitch about something. You've got to think when you're starting to produce more and more and more, and we'll be up to nearly 2 million very soon a year. Well, you're going to have an increase in inventory.
Nigel, that's true, but we're already at a 2 million run rate because in March, Tesla produced about 176,000 cars. So multiply that by about 12 and you're over 2 million. So
we're on the run rate, but they haven't produced 2 million for the year. They're only expecting 1.76, 1.8 million.
Well, they guided for 1.8,
but the internal targets.
Yeah, well, the fact Elon Musk actually admitted that they were sandbagging because he said, well, you know, there could always be another pandemic or another incident or something that can go wrong. That I think they've got this great maturity now where I don't think they actually need to be exuberant. They can actually be very conservative and still smash the figures and still get 50% compound annual growth rate. You know, they don't need to stretch, but they're going to. They will produce 2 million cars this calendar year. There's just zero doubt about that. It's already happening. They don't even have to change anything. They don't have to ramp anything. We just had Berlin go from 4,000 to 5,000 cars. Obviously, Austin's now gone to 4,000 cars from 3, but of course, Austin's got a much more important job to do, which is help Elon Musk go through the Cybertruck production line so he can get these stainless steel babies on the road as soon as possible.
Yeah.
And you're going to have the Mexico factory break ground maybe this month. So you just, and that's a 2
Who's running
million.
that plant, Paul?
Who's running it?
Pablo Escobar running that plant down in Mexico?
No, his cousin.
His cousin. Cousin. Juan and
Yeah.
Pablo Escobar.
Be a bit more than one done though.
It's got to use less water than any other car manufacturing facility in the world.
Yeah, they're using Corona instead. They're pouring Coronas in there. So
That's why I drink Corona in Australia, because I save Australian water and drink Mexican beer. but think like Tesla just slammed down, Model 3s.
Yeah,
$3,000. Thanks for coming. When everyone else has got their margins are getting, their margins are basically negative in most of the EV brands. And Tesla just saying, well, let's just give don't forget, anyone that's got a Model 3 on order at the higher price, when it arrives, they will get the lower price. That always happens with Tesla. If you order something and the price goes up, you pay the low price. If you order something and the price goes down, you pay the low price.
That's good.
Yeah.
It's part of the delivery package.
Well, it is. It is.
The analysts never mentioned that either.
No, of course not.
It's a secret. You don't tell anyone.
So I have a question. What do you all think about the Chinese EVs all blowing up?
Blowing up?
Blowing up?
Yeah, they're exploding. Not all of them, but lots of them.
Are they in
I haven't heard
Beirut?
anything like that.
Are they in downtown?
Yeah,
Beirut?
just go on YouTube and do you have the link there? I sent you a link. I sent Patrick the link.
I saw that, but I think it was a hoax. Someone said it wasn't true. It was a put up.
Well, they set a lot of them alight then because they were all.
Pretty hard to make that.
Anyway, I just wondered if it's a hoax, then it doesn't matter.
Alison, I've got a question for Patrick. I've got a golden retriever that keeps getting a warm ear. Any suggestions what to do?
He's got a warm ear.
Yeah. And I have to wash it once every 2 days.
Is that with or without an ear infection?
Does he have an ear infection or have you checked?
It's a little bit warm, but he gets it every now and then, take him to the vet.
And they've said...
and they said what?
Oh, they said it will go away, but it keeps coming back.
Is it just one ear or both?
One ear.
And does he hold his ear down? Yeah, like it... Does he hold his head down on that side?
Yes, he does.
He does. Okay. Yeah, it looks hard for me to tell it without seeing it, but I would take the advice of your vet that's seen him. Do they think it's an allergy-based condition?
No, it just keeps coming back. We keep taking him there. And the allergies, it cost me about $250.
Yeah.
And it sort of breaks out in hives in my wallet.
Sounds like you already owe the Johnstons some money.
Yeah, so
it's all right. He's making out the invoice as we speak. I can see it.
Excellent. Yeah, this is very EV related, Jared.
Well, it's asked us anything, so I thought
better use Harold's card again.
Like your dog in on the
so let me just preface what we've just said.
Yeah.
I can't really help you with that one. You need someone to have a look at it.
Yeah. PM me, Jared.
Thank you. Thanks anyway, Patrick. I appreciate it.
No worries. No worries.
Harold's disappeared.
Did you guys hear any of that audio?
No, absolutely not, Harold.
Carmen's got a question about the roof, Harold.
Or is it,
muted?
What's your normal
You muted.
I should be back now. Yeah.
We're silly YouTubers. Don't take our financial advice and shit like that.
Yeah.
Yes, did you hear that disclaimer? Could you hear that at all? No, you couldn't hear it.
No, sorry.
No, unfortunately, I've got no control.
The following has been for advice only, and is not to be taken. Do your own research. Blah blah blah.
Blah 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 blah.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Don't sue me.
Thanks.
Yes, exactly. Alrighty. So apart from Jared with an interesting pet question.
Well, it's actually an EV question because the dog rides in the car, and when he's in the car, he's an EV dog. So he just had a problem with his ear. So
Oh,
And-
James got his hand up. Actually, sorry, James has his hand up very patiently and possibly impatiently. Because if I was him, I'd be impatient.
Clean that garage.
Listening to Jared, so no problems there. I put into the link, there's a AliExpress made in China 3-phase charger for 145 Australian. They'll stick a 5-pin plug on it for another $50 US. Going, or is it going to burn my house down?
It would burn your house down, guaranteed. Yeah. Run that through the electrical.
You get what you pay for.
standard board.
Yep.
See what they say about it.
But honestly, what is the cord doing? It's a cable, a plug, and a small board.
A cable that can be
Yeah.
underrated and catch on fire very easily.
Otherwise somebody else to be doing
I
it.
mean, look at cheap cables for your iPhone, and your iPhone can blow up. I wouldn't be touching that.
100%. 100%.
Park your car away from your house.
Yeah, park your car away from your house, the vet says.
Yeah, there you go.
You only get a
Oh,
little-
man, you guys have fun.
And
By the way,
Don't park your
Jared,
dog near
Jared,
the
don't
car
put your
either.
dog inside
Yeah.
the car when you charge it.
Patrick says, Jared, that you never told him it was an EV dog. This is a very different, complicated
he's a
case.
full EV. I plug him in and he gets warm and he does this thing.
By the way, guys, guess what arrived at my house 2 days ago?
Another gold.
No, not another gold car. A
gold-
Tesla wall charger.
Oh, cool.
Oh, that was quick.
That is
That's
quick.
very
Came from
good.
Melbourne.
Wow.
Everything's quick with me. I told him I wanted a Tesla and I got it that day. I mean, like, I just don't wait.
Like Carmen, want it now. Is that right, Carmen?
Yeah,
Get it.
Good job.
but it has to be exactly the spec. Yes, madam, we've got that spec.
Well, Pete will be here tomorrow to help install it. Pete will come out. He's got nothing on tomorrow, so he can come out and do some markups. Is that right, Pete?
Think he's asleep.
Pete, would you like to come in over? Come in, Pete.
Stunned
Oh,
at Jared's offer.
He's alert. You're muted. There you go. There you go.
Sorry, back online now.
There you go. You're back online. Yep, that's good. Alison needs a
Now,
hair-
speaking of
helper.
EV dogs, there are actually two dogs in this Model S, and this S had driven from Port Hedland. In fact, that morning it had driven from Carnarvon.
Wow.
So you can't really. Oh, you can probably just see them just there. It's a bit hard to see. I can't zoom in, but yeah, basically two dogs in that titanium Model S.
Were they driving the car?
No, self-driving.
Self-drive.
It was self-driving. In fact, that car had its back seat removed so the dogs could relax more comfortably. It's done a few Ks. That car's done 215,000 Ks.
Jesus Christ.
But
Oh, that's perfect for Patrick, Harold.
No. We need an X for that.
No. I've got a nice 28,000 kilometre
Oh, yeah, that's right.
EV
The one with
and
the
a
Kangaroo dent.
Yeah.
Sorry.
yeah.
It's been
I was
signed
forgetting.
by Skippy. Skippy signed it. It was sponsored by Skippy. Skippy was a.
Well, I'm not going to admit that Skippy was harmed in
I'm gonna have to mute.
that
I'm
dent.
going to have to mute.
Skippy
because
had a
that's
headache.
brilliant.
She's all right.
Oh no, Alison's gone. She's gone. It's all gone.
She's definitely
Oh
right.
my God, that's
And
brilliant.
George has got his dog in the background there. Good on you, George. Love it. There he goes. Dog's taken out. Another EV dog. There you go.
In dog mode. Oh, it's not even in dog. Oh, it's driving the car. Oh my God.
Taking over George's car.
All right. So we got any other questions or comments in this awesome WEV Network week?
Yeah, Nigel.
No, sorry.
Nigel.
Dodgy camera. The dodgy
Yes.
wing mirror.
Yes, Steve.
Did you get the 7-pin or 12-pin for your tow hitch?
I haven't actually had a look yet. I was going to plan on doing that and maybe getting the tow ball unit this weekend.
Curious, I was talking to Colin a couple of days ago and he thought it was a 7-pin. And I said, are you doing the 12 pin? And he said, I don't know. I don't know. So we're finding out, aren't we?
Yeah, I'll have a look.
What is the
over
12 pin, Steve? Is that the circular one or is that the linear one?
It's
two
linear.
rows.
It's two stacked one on top of the other. So it's chunkier, like a bigger rectangle.
Yeah.
Is that for the trailer brakes?
Well, after your suggestion that I do a bit more research, I actually found a trailer or caravan installed electric brake controller.
Yep.
So it takes the necessary power from the headlights feed and also the brake feed when you touch the brakes. That's enough to power the electric brakes on the caravan. But the YouTubes that I saw were dealing with 12 pins, not 7 pins. So I was just wondering what the default is with Tesla here in Perth.
Well, maybe I'll go and flip the cover plate off right now and have a look.
You do that, Nigel. We'll do it live.
I will. I'll be back.
Yeah, we want it live. And a drum roll, please.
Steve, the extra row of pins is for high amp draw things. So winches, auxiliary power. So on my camper trailer, I had the 12 pin, and 2 of the pins I was using for auxiliary power, so to power all your fridges and everything when the car's running. So most people have a separate Anderson. Mine just went all through the one thing. So I had some fat cables running up there as well.
Yeah, because I really wanted to avoid wiring in some Anderson cabling.
Yeah.
That was just going to be really, really awkward with my Model Y Performance when it gets out of Singapore, the lazy bloody thing.
On the camper trailer, because everyone else was using Anderson plugs, but you get the 12 pin and they're rated for I think it was 60 amps. So you could they use them on like winches, like boat trailers that have the high powered winches on them, bits like that. So I just used 2 of them to run auxiliary power to keep the whole thing running when you're plugged into your car.
Yeah, okay, that's interesting.
Yeah.
Very good. Very good.
I think James,
I know.
Get somebody to put the garage up.
So yeah,
just there if you look at it, just there.
Sorry, up the garage it's a bit messy.
Yes, indeed. Richard's Model X, I actually had an adapter for a brake controller. One of our fellow club members, Jason Stanley, he's actually got a brake controller for his X that just plugs straight into the loom. So I don't know, Steve, how you do that, but I don't even know what a brake controller does, to be perfectly honest. I presume it's an inertial unit or something like that for trailer brakes.
It's normally activated off the brake lights, and it just provides power to the magnets to close the brakes.
There you go.
Oh, gotcha.
So Harold, do I need anything, because we do want to start towing a caravan, not for camping this weekend, but for the future? Do we need anything else, a brake controller or anything?
We'd have to ask Jason Stanley. So because he's got one, I believe. And somewhere I've got the little loom bit that plugs in that just has the breakout for your controller.
There you go.
Gotcha.
Let me just take a picture of that.
So the bulky one on the left, I think, is a 12 pin, and that then connects to electric brakes, which, it'd be interesting to see the whole thing come together, to be honest, eventually, when I finally get my rig.
Isn't that all just done? Because when I've towed trailers like up on site that are really heavy, they just work on inertia. So when it pushes forward, it activates a brake and
Not for an electric brake. That's your hydraulic type brake, I think.
Read out to an easy tow.
And is that mandatory?
Yes.
Yes.
Over 750 kilograms, yes.
Yeah.
But then how can
one?
I've towed 1,200 litre fuel trailers up on site, and they've never had anything like that.
Because that's private property.
No, public roads.
Oh right. Oh, okay.
But you can have mechanical brakes. You don't have to have electric, do you? You can have mechanical brakes doing it instead.
It just needs to be braked.
There's cable type jobbies, there's hydraulic jobbies, and there's electric jobbies.
Yeah, but so yeah, but you don't have to have.
750, they need to be braked. The one, your fuel
Nigel's
trailers
back.
on site are definitely braked.
No,
Yeah.
they're definitely
I'll
brakes.
get a
but
word
they're
in
not-
a minute.
Carmen?
They're definitely brakes, but they're not electronically brakes. It's not a requirement to have one or the other, is it?
No, no,
No,
no,
you
it's
have
just
to have
brakes.
Sorry,
But
sorry,
they can be
Nigel.
of various sorts. Yeah.
Come on, come.
Yeah.
Tell us about your brakes.
Steve, what did you want to know? Whether it was 6 or 12?
7 or 12.
No, it's a straight 7.
Okay.
What do you tow, Nigel? You black belt?
Nothing yet.
When you do tow, what will you be towing?
Don't know until I tow it.
Okay.
I just wanted one. All right, Jared.
Okay, no, it's all right. If you want a tow bar, that's fine. You can have a tow bar. But generally, people get tow bars when they tow things.
Yes.
I'm just
Used
thinking,
to
what-
tow a small
They did
trailer. Tow things.
Oh, okay. Cool.
Not necessarily. You could just have it for a bike rack. So you don't have to tow
Yeah.
anything.
Are you thinking
Absolutely.
about taking up a milk rack or something? Is this a new job venture?
Yeah, I was
Nigel.
going to go into the removal business. You know, I'll remove your 2 cardboard boxes and take them somewhere.
I mean, you can actually you can do it. You can do something like this with your tow hitch, and just carry the Geraldton Charger through Lake Grace.
Looks
for
like
a
a
bit of
shark
road
fin.
trip.
Is that how you bring the charger back, Harold?
Yes,
Petrol
except it'll
motion
be on my
machine?
Model Y next. It'll be on the Model
You
Y
invented
next.
perpetual motion?
Absolutely, you charge and go. Of course,
Yeah. Charge and drive.
charge and drive.
Takes
Hey,
Richard
is
to the
your-
next level.
Is your clearance going to
Absolutely.
be all right on Model Y, Harold? Because you obviously don't have the adjustable suspension.
Details. I don't know, Pete. I'm going to find out. I guess.
It's all right on the lawnmower.
Maybe while
I
you
think
sit
I've
in
got-
Arrow, you should try and measure it.
No, the frame's in Perth, so I don't need to. No, the frame's actually in Perth, so I'll just mount it on the back of the Y, and then we might have to just modify it if it hasn't got enough clearance. I don't know. Actually, well, I don't have an X anymore, so yeah, I guess maybe Richard Chapman, you could measure the bottom of the hitch, and then I'll measure the bottom of the Y. Actually,
Richard Chapman's there.
is Richard Chapman here? Is he? Where is he? I can't see him.
There he is. Oh,
Oh, there he is. There he is. Right. So
literally packing.
so-
Sorry, literally packing camping staff into the X.
So if Richard Chapman and Mr. Grumpy could just get their measuring sticks out, and they could just measure to the bottom of the hitch, and
The
let me know
bottom
what
of
the
the
difference
hitch.
is.
To the bottom.
Yeah, the
Harold,
bottom of the hitch.
The Model
I
Y
shall go.
performance
But
is
one-
lower.
Somebody's stick could be longer.
True, 1 inch.
That's true. That's true,
Yeah.
Steve. Good point.
He could have a little sideburn on his stick.
It is a bit lower. Yeah, you're right, Steve. It's about an inch lower.
It's not even an
So
Yeah, it's much. Oh, there we go.
so there's the.
Yeah, but I need a
What do you
measuring
want me to
stick.
measure? So
See,
Oh,
certainly
so
do it.
so you know how you got the Heyman Reese, you got the 2 inch inside, right? It's good enough just to measure, say from the bottom of that inside to the ground, and that's at standard suspension height.
he had that tape measure there the whole time.
Oh, so hang on. So you mean the point where it connects into into
No, no.
into the
Imagine the
post
hole, the square hole that you put you can't put a round peg. You just put a square
yeah,
peg.
sorry. If you had a reset, yeah, okay.
Yes. If I had it. Oh, have you not got it plugged in?
I don't
Let me
have a
just have a
reset.
look.
You
I
took it.
can't. Oh,
That was the one thing you wanted to keep.
damn. Sorry, gotcha. Let me just
But that's all right. I don't
Oof.
need it. But,
Yeah, no, sorry.
but
Yes, I
it's
don't
gonna be
really know
about-
where that. No, I don't know then.
So,
Y-
Harold,
Yeah, if you guess.
So Harold,
I'd say it's about 33 centimeters, and it would be.
yeah.
Oh, but the X
Mine's
will be at maximum
31.
height at the moment.
Yeah, mine's 31 from ground to the bottom of the Hull.
Sounds about
Right. That's pretty
Oh,
close.
okay.
31. And if Richard's guessing 33, that's only 2 centimeters. That's not terrible.
Yeah, it's not bad.
That's not terrible. So I'll have to.
Richard's been modifying your eggs, Harold.
And it's been
Now,
a lot of
Harold,
fun.
do you want me to go up to Geraldton with you and pick that up?
Yeah, can you?
Yeah. Yeah, do it.
Actually, I must admit, I wouldn't impose that on anyone because there's nothing more disconcerting than 160 kilograms sitting on the back of your car. It literally tips the, well, it doesn't tip the car, but it like rocks it like a really heavy caravan. It's a rather disturbing feeling, which you only get over after you've done about 3,000 kilometers of it.
The tow ball weight has to be no more than 160, I think.
It's 159.99.
Yeah, there you go.
GST on that one.
Yes, there's always a margin, isn't there?
Yeah.
There's always a margin.
Have your balls weight done right.
But it'll be okay because it's that thing's. I mean, the Axis towed that shark fin. Well, there was a Charger, a tritium that blew up in Kaiguna, so that was a 1,000-kilometer trip to Kaiguna with the shark fin on the back, the replacement one, and then the old one was shark finned on the way back to Perth. That was only a 3-day trip, which is awesome. But anyway, so yeah, no, that it'll be good. It'll be good to get the Tokwa Charger back to Perth, and then we'll try and work out another place to put it. That's off the beaten track.
The inland highway.
Kimber.
Yes.
Sorry, do you need to borrow the X to get it?
No, it's totally cool.
Sorry,
Richard.
I missed
No. I'll give the Y a go because, to be honest, at least the Y I know its tow hitch is bolted to the frame of the car, whereas the X one is a quarter turn quick release.
Yeah,
and that just always worried me with a quick release that it might quickly release in the middle of the highway with Pete's Performance Model 3 about 30 meters behind me.
Yeah.
And Pete's got the photos to prove it.
With my foot hovering over the brake.
Oh.
I had it on cruise
Point
control.
distance
and my
of
foot
7.
hovering on the brake.
I think his follow distance was 1 actually, because he was trying to get a good photo of it.
No, it was 2. I didn't have the cojones to get within 1.
Oh, well, anyway. But yes, it is what it is. But it would be great to get people start doing towing experiments in the Model Y. Well, performance or whatever for that matter, and see how it goes.
That's what
And of course, the
I'm
Model
going
Y.
to plan to do. I'm going to borrow a couple of trailers of different weights and go for a 50-kilometer drive with and without and see how we go.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And it's good to get those data points.
So Nigel, as I've mentioned Sunday or the previous one, more than welcome to take mine for a short string. Not that far away from you.
Yeah. How much does yours weigh?
It's unladen right now, so it's about 1.1 tons.
Oh, right. Okay. Yeah, I was going to see if I could borrow my neighbour's trailer as well, which is just an empty box trailer. So that probably anyway is about 400 kilos.
Yep.
Do that, do yours, do an empty run and see how we go.
Yep. Good.
Well, something I'm just trying to get the tweet. We did have some other news. We had a casual meetup at Two Rocks, which was pretty good actually. I'm just going to try and bring the video up. Here we go. And it actually happened to, unsurprisingly, feature Alison's awesome gold car. Goes a bit like this.
And nothing else. See ya. Thanks for helping out with Gil's driving. Yeah. You working? No. Oh no, just watching the car maybe. Hi. Bill. They don't want to see your boobs on there.
What the
And then of
hell
course the
was
video
that?
ends with the
We didn't see
old
the video.
Atlantis sculpture.
Somebody was talking about.
We heard every word of that, John.
Yeah.
Yes,
You're on mute,
we
buddy.
did.
You're mute now. You're mute now, but you weren't mute before. Jeez.
But anyway, so that was our casual meetup last Sunday at the Two Rocks Tavern, or the Tavern at the Rocks.
Apologies, everyone.
That's all right, John. That's a bit of entertainment for our YouTube viewers. All three of them.
Yeah.
They
My
should enjoy that.
17-year-old daughter just being a bit naughty.
So
It's all good.
Alex is looking for a 17-year-old girlfriend. Yeah. This is
Well, Jared?
Alex. Now's your chance. You know.
What's my chance?
Never mind.
Father-in-law.
Never mind.
Get the sale, Jared.
Alrighty. So, any other bits of news or questions that anyone's got?
Carmen?
Oh,
Yeah,
the question is, you need to unmute. That's
I like to do Kermit the Frog.
no, unmute. You got to you're still muted, Carmen.
Why are there so many songs about rainbow? Carmen, turn your mic on.
She's waiting to mute. She's still muted.
Ah, is it
There we
okay
go.
now?
Yes, it is now. Very good.
Nothing about the car at the moment, but I was wondering what you thought of the AI report in the paper by Elon.
Oh, I didn't read this. So, can someone else jump in and discuss?
You eat the pizza?
What was this about?
It's about shelving it for 6 months, about having a moratorium on AI for 6 months. I think.
Oh, that. Yeah, that's a good idea.
Yeah.
They're
Yeah,
all scared that AI is going to take over the world and kill us all.
Well,
it can be used for a bad purpose by the sounds of it.
Yes.
Yes,
Microsoft.
ChatGPT does well.
Elon did tweet a very relevant joke about some technology people got together to create the most intelligent AI system, to ask it a question. And the question was, is there a God? And the reply was, there is now, mofos.
my vacuum cleaner attacked me the other day.
Oh.
So I'm surprised.
Maybe a hairdryer as well.
Oh, the hairdryer was. I'm doing my Donald Trump hairstyle today because I'm backing on Trumpy. You know, so I want to be like
Tesla bots will rule the world very soon.
I want to pay hush money to a porn star. I mean, that's champion.
There's a few of us a bit jealous, Jared. That's all.
I know. I can't try to get there, you know, but people like Richard Chapman inspire me to do more with my hair.
Well, we know about him, but what about all the ones we don't know? What we know that we don't know.
Now they're all happy with their settlements. They're all moved on, those girls. Yes, Lord Donald.
Deary me. Religion and politics. It's just what could possibly go wrong?
Nothing.
Someone's sharing something.
Yeah, it's me. Yeah, there was another rumor about FSD going into.
Well, that's
this was on Drive Tesla Canada.
That's a good place to do the testing because there's a lot of people that live in China, so they lose a couple of people. It's okay. Just replace them. No worries.
It will be interesting to see if that goes ahead. When I was at Fully Charged Live a few weeks ago, I spoke to Elliot Richards, Elliot China, who's their correspondent in China. And he said, Tesla don't know what they're doing with full self-drive. Xpeng is way ahead. It's streets ahead in the self-driving thing. I go, really? They've got LiDAR sticking out all over the place. And yeah. But they haven't seen the full self-drive capabilities.
Oh, and perhaps Australia might get something this year, hopefully.
Sorry.
Sounds like bullshit. Did you say bullshit?
It does sound a bit like bullshit.
It does sound very much like bullshit.
Yes, I guess so, but you just never know, do you?
I mean,
You
you
just don't
watch
know.
the videos of it in driving around San Francisco and so on, without any form of takeover. It's astounding what it can do. And you
Yeah.
compare to what it was doing a year ago,
Mm.
you just think what it's going to be like next year.
Hey Harold, which hotel you staying
Yes.
at? Which hotel you staying in, Jordan? Are you staying at Gerald?
No, no, it's the ocean something, the ocean view or something like that.
The international.
That's got a couple of Tesla chargers there, destination ones, hasn't it?
No, not the ocean. No, the Gerald apartment does. That's a multi-story.
Gerald.
That's about a 6-story hotel or block of apartments.
There's Ocean West or
Yeah, that'll do. That's probably it. Yeah, something like Ocean West. Yeah.
yeah, that's
Staying the weekend, Harold, up there in Jordan?
Sorry, Jared?
You staying the weekend there just to study vandalism?
No. I'm coming back tomorrow because there's a shipload of Model Ys that have been taken off the ship and they're at the port, and I need to get my drone there to have a look see.
Oh, Harold,
Because there's a
Pete's been there all day working as a wharfie.
right.
He was- he puts
I'll
a
be there at
belt
some
on
point in the morning, around
Yeah.
about 8:20.
yeah.
I'll see if
Ah,
I can
very
see it.
good.
Harold.
Are we still
Ocean
expecting
West-
about?
Yeah.
Sorry, Ocean West in Geraldton has got 2 destination charges.
Oh, sorry, no. Well, it's not that then. Oh, I don't know, Nigel. I'm
And does
bloody.
it come with an
I
extra?
mean,
I stayed there.
I think you get it.
Yeah, no, you're right. That's at West End, not West End. That's that's got it's got a couple of destination. Yeah, no, it's. I don't know where. Look, I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll just unplug for a moment and I'll have a look. Hang on.
Can you check the room to see if there's a Bible, Harold? And does it come with like 12-hour room service? Do you get like a toasted cheese sandwich till 9 o'clock at night?
Rightio. I'm at the Ocean,
Oh,
the
right.
Ocean Centre Hotel.
Not to be-
That's
not
where
to
I'm
be-
at.
Not to be endorsed by corporate sponsorship, Harold stays at the Ocean Centre.
I do, and I do so at my own expense too.
To 3 ashtrays. It's 3 ashtray level. Beautiful hotel. Beautiful amenities.
Well, it has a history and a concept, which is
Oh, it
always
still
good
looks the
to
same as
have.
it was back in 1942. Exactly the same stuff.
No, that's not true, Jared. It was 1907 actually, so
Oh, it's
you know it's historic.
Story.
And yeah, it's just whatever. So
Did you get-
that's where
did
I'm
you
at.
get The tube out, Harold, and just run it over the room first.
Sorry, say again, Jared.
Did you get a UV tube out? Just run the UV tube out, black light, just to see the outlining of the body and where the gun was. Nice.
No, but yes. Anyway, but yes, I'll be back here at 8:30 because I got to go to Northampton before Pete does. Pete will be leaving
Yeah.
shortly, but
He's leaving next half
the
an hour.
ruse will slow him down. Yes,
Yeah,
the
but
ruse
Pete
will slow him
lives-
down. So
He only lives 15 minutes away from Northampton, so he'll get pretty quickly, as you know, he lives up that way.
Yeah, I would have had
He
a
does
jump
too.
on him if it wasn't for you, Jared.
I know.
anyway, I just better ask Shane, Mr. Parker, just very quickly. Did you get the package, or is that going to be later?
Yeah, no, well, I kind of got the package. I delegated the task.
Right.
Oh, that's a heavy task. Right.
Yeah,
Okay.
it is a heavy task, but apparently there's more muscles there than one would expect. So it worked. It all good. Yeah.
Right.
So
Are we talking about
Cool.
the-
Very good.
package
the Blue
en
Oyster
route.
Bar? Is it
The package is en route. Eh? Good. Very good.
package is on?
Yeah.
I'm
So that'll
glad to
make
hear.
life- that'll make life a bit better because we got 48 hours basically to get from Perth to Kalgoorlie and back again. So it'll make it a bit better.
What is
Yeah,
the block of cocaine or something? Is it just to keep you going?
What was that? Sorry, Jared?
Is that a block of cocaine just to keep you going to drive from there and back?
No, speed.
Oh, so
We're
speed.
picking up some speed. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. It's not
Yeah.
going to clean the car while you drive. Okay.
Yeah.
I can see. Are you driving?
No, the speed's for the car, for the driver. I'll just
okay.
give you a pro tip. So if we look at Southern Cross, there's no problems because there's a 32 amp 3-phase outlet at the agricultural fairgrounds. But at Merredin,
the plan is to get some Ks under the belt tomorrow night and pull up at Merredin. There's a chappie there with a Kona and a hotel with I think it's a bring your own plug, but doesn't really matter. We'll charge there overnight. Quick.
so you're not going through. You're not going straight through to Kalgoorlie in the one day.
Not tomorrow night. Then we'll top up in probably Southern Cross or maybe Kura Retreat, depending on how we feel. Then to Kalgoorlie. We've got an art exhibition and a few things to do in Kalgoorlie. Then we'll leave Kalgoorlie with a full charge on Saturday morning. The tricky bit is to get from Kalgoorlie back to Perth on Saturday without spending a significant amount of time in Southern Cross.
Okay, so if you look at Merredin, if you go on PlugShare, it's actually the community centre type 2, but just where this basketball court is, and there's usually this gate is usually open, so you might want to talk to Roy. And there's a box just here which has a 50 amp 3-phase outlet.
Last time we come back from Kalgoorlie, we actually didn't stop at Merredin. We charged to 100% in Southern Cross and sailed straight past. So that's the plan this time too. Because Merredin
just
was not functional.
No,
at that point, Merredin wasn't functioning.
Just bear in mind, Peter Petrosky's experience was that he got like stormy conditions. It was pouring down with rain and a howling westerly, absolutely howling, and his efficiency went to really, really bad. Really, really badly.
Yeah.
So just bear that in mind. But there is, like I said, particularly if Roy, because he's the one with the Kona, he might be able to arrange for this to be unlocked in Merredin, and it's 50 amp supply, so you can pull a whole 32 and there'll be no problems. So you could do that as a quicker form of charging. But check with Roy on the way up to make sure it's accessible and that you can pay for it and all that sort of stuff. So, but that's a little pro tip from Merredin.
Roy sounds a familiar name. He's the guy with the motelly thing, yeah.
Oh, I'm not sure, but he's got the single phase charger for the Kona.
Yeah, hang on, let me just look because we've booked a room there. Specifically because the caravan park, believe it or not, told us that we couldn't charge there overnight. We could stay there and pay $190, but we couldn't charge. However, it was very odd. The lodge at Little Rock, that's Roy apparently. So we've got we've booked ourselves in for the night there for tomorrow night.
Just be mindful that unless Merredin's had their boundary fuses upgraded, if it's single phase, it'll only be a 32 amp single phase supply, not the 63 amps that you're used to in Perth. So you have to dial down down to 20 amps.
Apparently the rule is we'll be charging overnight there, so it'll be 15 amps, but the rule is that you can charge your car as long as you turn the air conditioning off.
Right. Well, if it's a mild evening, that'll be okay then, because in the inland it'll be quite cool at night.
Yeah, and it'll be Thursday night of Easter weekend, so I could always drink myself a jumper as well.
That's always a possibility.
Sorry, what was that, Richard?
That's me. So, what are you going to do if it's hot? Go sit in the car with the aircon running while it charges.
Oh, we'll figure it out. Don't you worry. It's a full moon too, I think.
But be mindful, there is that thing near the tennis court at the community centre. So that's a 50 amp outlet, and it's easily accessible as long as the gate is open and the council allows it. But that's one little one where you can get a pretty quick charge, even if it's just a half an hour.
That'll be the way. That'll be on the way back if we run into trouble on the way back. There, and the backup on the way back also is Kura Retreat, which is a lovely spot. If anyone hasn't dropped into Kura Retreat, drop in there. There's a new owner there. He's a lovely chappy.
He is.
Make sure you sign in. There's a sign-in book in the meter box.
Yeah,
when you do sign in.
That's right. I'm just bringing it up now. There's actually, that's one of the main photos, is this one where they ask you to pay into this account. I think that's still the case now. I'm not entirely certain with the new management.
Yeah, your photo didn't
Kura
come up
Retreat.
there, Harold, was a bit delayed, but Kura Retreat,
sorry.
yes, there's a little I don't know, stack of photocopy bits of paper held together with a paper clip, and you got to sort of fill it in with a pen, which hopefully works. And then there's a pay in BSB to this account number type thing. That was how it was. I don't know, whatever it was, 2 months ago.
Yeah, I don't know if that's going to show. Is that showing up?
Waiting. There we go. Yeah, that's the one. Yep. I think it was.
Well, it isn't on a system.
50 cents kilowatt hour. Yeah. Yeah, it is. Yeah.
And the point is, it's on a system and it's effective, because if people abuse it, they'll just turn it off. They'll just stop using it, and then you'll lose that asset.
That's exactly right. And the similar thing at Baladonia, except that I think at Baladonia they charge $1 a kilowatt hour. And there's discussion there earlier about the appropriateness of the 60 cents a kilowatt hour for the EV charge network. I agree. 60 cents for most places is quite appropriate. But when they get out across the Nullarbor, I wouldn't be. I wasn't offended by paying $50 flat fee for at best 40 something kilowatt hours. That I don't care. I'm in Kaiguna. I want to get charged up and move on.
Exactly.
Yep.
Exactly. I would have paid $2 or $3 a kilowatt hour if I could do it in 20 minutes rather than 4 hours. Yep. That's for sure.
Yep.
Anytime.
And when I hit Sedona, I would have easily paid $2 an hour, $2 a kilowatt hour at Sedona or anywhere across South Australia, because there's just nothing.
And bearing in mind, if you're a petrol car, you'll be paying north of $3 a litre anyway. So it's all relative.
That's right. Yeah.
So there you go. Well, good luck with that, Shane. That should be a good trip. Just a 48-hour.
Actually, we're sort of considering seeing how much time we have, and now that we've got our magic pickup box, we might even come back and see if we can see that rocky wave on the way back. Maybe.
Oh, Hayden.
There's a little bit out of the way.
Yes. And you can go by the dirt road from Southern Cross, which I've done in Richard's X, which I never told him about. So yeah, there is a dirt road that goes basically from just the outskirts of Southern Cross straight down to Hayden. Well, there's a couple of little dog legs, but
Emu Fence Road or something, I think it's called, isn't it?
Yeah, something like that. Yep. And I did that. I think that was in January 2020-ish, roughly. Yeah, January 2020. Go in the other direction. Go so from Perth to Brookton, Hyden. I think we overnighted at Hyden, at the Hyden Motel or Hotel, whatever it was, and then went Southern Cross the next day, and then to Kalgoorlie. So yeah, you can definitely do that, Shane. The only thing is you never get the red dirt out, but that's okay. It is what it is.
It might not be my car yet. We haven't actually quite decided which car we're taking.
Oh,
it's a toss up.
Interesting.
It's a toss up because without the magic box, there's definitely the Tesla, but with the magic box,
Yes.
it's like, oh, you know, what do you? It's sort of one of the, you know, I'll probably keep my license better in the other one.
Yep, possibly. But you're a good driver nonetheless. And no one ever exceeds the speed limit.
Never.
But the great thing is the WA EV network is going to Hyden, so there will be a fast DC charger.
Yes.
At Hyden and one at Brookton, which is great too.
Yes.
The
Brookton
Abid,
one-
you've got
Brookton one's actually
your
a
hand
really-
up.
Yeah,
Sorry.
good evening. I was just listening quietly. I just want to say two things. First of all, say thank you to Pete for organizing the install of my Tesla charger. It works like a charm and gives my wife a lot more, I guess, less range anxiety because it charges up really quickly. The second question I've got for you is how do I turn down the volume on the lane departure buzzing?
I don't think you can, a bit.
You can, no,
You
you
turn it
can.
off,
You can
mate.
go into Joe mode. You can go into,
Yeah, it does.
you select,
It doesn't turn it down. But
I
you
tick
gotta-
Joe mode, but it still like scares the heck out
Yeah.
of me every time when it comes on.
Yeah.
And the other worst thing is
do
it
you do a lot of
turns off the
country roads,
radio and
Abid?
everything.
yeah, it does. It sort of suppresses it. It sort of lowers the radio or any audio source down a lot so that you can hear the warning tone better.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
frustrating.
Do,
Just
do
when
you
the
do a
news
lot
is
of
on.
country roads? Do you do a lot of country roads or unmarked roads? Do you, Abid?
No, just in the city, up the freeway and around and stuff, and
Doesn't like staying in the zone.
Drive straight.
Yeah, okay.
drive straight. No, I
Yeah.
fall asleep. That's
It could. I find that it often goes off on unmarked roads or roads with different coloured shoulders or lots of shadows, which is I do a lot of that stuff, and I've got into the habit now. I hop in, I press the autopilot button, I scroll up, I flick the button, and then away I go.
right. Yeah.
It's pretty much
Yeah.
every time I drive, I just turn it off.
The other thing I found, or I think is maybe a safety risk, is when you're driving on like a road that's got dashed line in the middle for passing, it actually allows you to go drive on the other side if you
Yes, it does.
on
Yep.
the other side of the
Yep.
road. So I
We
don't know
had
how-
to do that on the way to Geraldton. They actually had roadworks, so they took us to the right hand lane, the opposite side of the road, and the car's perfectly happy to do that.
yeah, I'm like, wow.
But it won't like you if you have a double white, a solid white line. It won't, like if you've got FSD, for example, and you've got automatic lane changing, it will not automatically change a lane or semi-automatically do that if it's a continuous line. So it does know the road rules, but it is flexible because it's never seen that piece of road ever before because the cars don't have a memory of where they've been or what they've seen.
Right.
So it's not outlandish for the car for it to permit you to engage autopilot on the wrong side of the road per se, because for example, if you're down the Forest Highway, you have two lanes that look exactly the same as any bidirectional road, which is why sometimes bidirectional roads actually have a sign that says traffic both ways because it looks the same as a dual lane going in the same direction.
Yeah.
Because don't forget, the cars don't use maps. They don't use digital maps for that sort of function. Because the whole point that Elon Musk stresses, and the same with with LiDAR is you don't use digital mapping to lay out the world as it was known sometime in the past. The car infers what to do live and in real time with the information that it can glean there and then without any memory whatsoever.
Big one on that, Harold, is as soon as you hit some roadworks where you are instructed to go to the other side of the road, you're instructed to go across the double white line, and you're now, what was 2 lanes north is now 1 lane north and 1 lane south. That happens all the time.
And it just copes quite remarkably well in situations that it's never seen before. And you've even got those, sometimes you've got white lines that have been blacked out temporarily. So you've got all, and if it's the sun's in a certain position, it all looks fairly grey or light or whatever. And the car does a sterling job in making sense of all the mush that's before it. Nigel, you've got your hand up.
Yeah, I just wanted to recognise Daniel Whale there, who's done a sterling job for me. I've got a GrowWatt inverter, and Charge HQ refuses to acknowledge that that company even exists. But Daniel and his clever programming skills has written something, and now I've got Charge HQ polling my GrowWatt inverter and adjusting my Tesla's charging amperage, and we got it sort of running yesterday, but then it decided it didn't want to work, and he tweaked it today, and now it's varying the charging rate between 5 amps and 15 amps or whatever, or nothing. So it's switched it off at the moment because there's no sun. Absolutely brilliant job, Daniel. Thank you.
No problems, Nigel. Happy to help.
Very good. What platform was that? What's that thing that starts with red? Not red tube. It's red something. No.
Node Red, you mean?
Node Red.
No, I didn't do that. I wrote it from scratch. I've actually written a little framework for supporting any kind of inverter or any kind of CT clamp. Anything that's got an API, I can push it to their API.
Oh, fantastic.
Yeah, I just had to get the API and some login details to him, and now it polls the GrowWatt cloud thing, and it's been working a treat today. So,
I wouldn't say it's Charge HQ are ignoring GrowWatt. GrowWatt are being a little bit protective of their services. So they're doing things like putting in captures if it detects you logging in from multiple places at the same time. And so what happened yesterday when it died was the login timed out and it gave a capture. And it can't do that programmatically. But yeah, sorted it.
So we'll see if it comes on tomorrow morning when the sun comes up.
Yeah, it should be. It should be fine.
Very good. I mean, Charge HQ it's not bad. I mean, for the price, which is nothing at the moment, it's great value. And I dare say they'll probably have some pressure when they do start to monetize it, as long as they keep that price reasonable. In other words, you're still ahead by dribbling solar in, and they don't want to seek too much rent for it. Then it's a great alternative to a physical system, such as a Zappi or similar.
Yeah.
Well, I was doing a manual system, so I was checking every 10 minutes or 15 minutes and adjusting it myself.
Yeah.
Don't forget that Tesla's HWCs sounds like with the addition of a Powerwall, we'll be able to do that as well.
Yeah, I've got the old one that came near 3.5 years ago. So it's HPWC. It's not exactly intelligent.
Pete, how do you actually activate that? Because I've never noticed that come up, and I think everything's up to date. Do you know where in the app you'd go to
activate what?
Excess solar charging?
No, only in the States at the moment, Richard. It's only offered, or it's coming out. I don't know if it's actually been released yet, but it's been certainly announced as coming.
Right.
But it was for the US market at this stage, obviously, initially. So,
but the thing is, jumped on it, but I've kind of changed the way that we charge during the day, so I kind of don't need it so much now. But yeah, just nice to know. But yeah,
I
okay.
think it's called charge on sunshine or something. If you just Google Tesla charge on sunshine, it'll come up.
Yeah.
Oh, that's something that that was something else I deleted. Well, I didn't delete. I didn't put in the news. Was the Cyber Vault, which was much vaunted Chinese product, but all it really was is the equivalent of what I've observed is many of those Porsche destination chargers, where they sort of have a racetrack, sort of oval sort of shaped. Well, it's more like a racetrack really, and inside it is basically a UMC in some versions.
It's
and
a
in fact, that's
lockable
where I
one
was.
as well.
It's lockable, yes, and you can fit a PowerPoint as part of it. So you sort of mount the PowerPoint in the back part of it. You plug in your UMC, and then the cable can come out, or you can lock it in, and you can do sort of various things. And you can actually take a UMC with you if you wanted to on a road trip or something like that. Of course, it was vaunted as many possibilities, but that's all. And it's not cheap. I think is it $800 or something like that? I think that might have US. That's big bucks for something that doesn't actually do anything. It's just a cabinet, really. A nice looking one, albeit, but it's just a cabinet.
Ideal for people that have got big multiple garage, like a block of flats or something. You don't want to have your thing just hanging around. You can lock it away.
But it's actually a lot more expensive than an actual HPWC. So, you know, like if you're using it to protect your HPWC, well, you know, you could buy another one if it gets vandalized for that money.
Yeah, that's right. I guess anything is access control. So I think that's something going to be coming with the third generation HPWCs. Is it can? I think there's an option to have it, or there will be an option that only certain cars will work at the HPWC, and others will get charged money. So you could have like a white list of cars that can charge for free, and then a grey list that or others that can charge for money, provided you got internet and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah, I'm off. I'll see you guys sometime.
Hopefully,
Yes, you are,
just
Nigel.
leaving. Good night, Nigel.
Take care, Nigel. We might. We've had a pretty busy last couple of days in Gero, so I might, depending on what we've got coming up next, we might have a bit of an earlier night this week. It's been a pretty busy week. But any sort of last drinks? We've got Shane going on his odyssey to Kalgoorlie and beyond, or back and beyond, via a couple of black stumps. Yeah, I mean, we've got Pete's about to leave to go up to Northampton, so
yes, I'm on my way out already. Got my 1 foot out the door. But before I go, I just wanted to show you this. Oops. Have you noticed the loot box there that's illuminated in light?
Yep.
Oh, yes.
Does anyone know what that is?
Competition.
Yes, there it is. You can submit a photo and win some points, some credits for the shop.
Earth Day photo contest. Very good.
You got to trick Alison into letting you borrow her car. You can take a photo with your drone with her car. Win the comp.
I was going to submit this one.
Yeah, that's not too bad. That's not too bad.
I got a sunrise with the Tesla in it between Nullarbor and what's on the other side of Nullarbor? Is it Cedrina? I've got
not
a
very
beautiful
much.
one with not very much, but it's very, very pretty.
I've got one in East Perth, I think, near the bridge at night.
Oh,
What's
there
the
you go.
competition?
No, it's just a Tesla comp. You submit your photo and you might win some credits for the Tesla shop.
In where do you submit? In the loot
Just
box?
through your app. So yeah, I'll show you again. So if you go into your app,
Mhm.
screen. So in the top right-hand corner, just to the left of your photo. Where are we? Here. There we go. So see, just in the top right-hand
Oh,
corner,
yes.
your photo.
Next to the loot box, yeah?
No, it's actual. You just press
You
on
click
that
on the loot box.
Or click on the loot box.
Yeah, and then
And how do you load it up?
Yeah, and this should be the next screen that comes up when you click the loot box now.
Oh, okay.
As long as you've got the loot box illuminated in light, like I showed before.
No, mine isn't. All it says is
Okay.
3 supercharging kilometers, 0 remaining, refer.
Yeah,
No?
so which version of the app do you have? Do you know?
Well, it's changed for some reason. I think because I changed phones.
Yeah, okay.
How can you tell what version you have?
So you've got an iPhone, haven't you, Carmen?
Yes, yes.
So if you just go into the App Store, so just
Oh,
type
yeah.
in, yep.
App Store. Yeah.
Yeah, and just search for Tesla. So find your Tesla app in the App Store.
Tesla, yeah.
And yeah, it should be obviously the one with the, white logo. And then if you have a look, so underneath the logo will have the ratings, and then it will say what's new, and then it will give you the version number. So it will say something like version 4.19 point something.
Right.
You see that?
No. No, so it says Tesla Lifestyle. That's about it.
No, you've got the wrong app.
Okay.
Oh, sorry, no. Yeah, so click on that.
Click on that. Yep.
Yep.
Update.
Yeah, so yeah, click on update. So you've obviously got a older version.
Okay.
Yeah. And if you click on
So
update,
this is, I think, Shane's photo. Is this right, Shane? Oh, it must be. No, maybe not. I don't know who that is. Yeah. Is that yours, Shane?
Sorry, which photo are we talking about?
the one in the background,
That one
behind you.
This one.
Oh, sorry. Did I not?
Yeah, that's me.
Did I
yeah.
not? Shoot?
Oh, it worked,
There, that
Peter.
one.
I've got the illuminated now.
Fantastic. Very good.
Okay, that's good.
Yeah,
Birthday
that's not
photo
me.
contest. Enter contest.
Oh, that's someone else.
Oh yeah.
Oh, someone just texted it to me. Sorry, I don't know who that was now. Apologies.
Looks like a black performance.
Who the hell is this? Someone just texted it to me. Oh, I can't. Anyway, someone did. Maybe that's. Oh no, is that? Oh, I can't remember. Anyway, someone did. Sorry, I haven't got your name. Oh, it's George. Sorry, it's George's. Very good. That's right. That's when George went across to Melbourne
Ah,
on the Nullarbor plane. Thanks, George.
very good.
Alrighty. We got any other bits of news or anything before we wrap this awesome show up? As I just load
There we go,
my
Harold.
outro. Yes. Oh, very good. Nice. Sunrise
There's
or
the
sunset.
sunrise,
Sunrise.
Yeah, that's the sunrise heading east to
East.
Ceduna from Nullarbor.
Oh, that looks
Very good. Very good.
At about 20 minutes before that, there was a like a crescent moon up in the camera doesn't show it very well. I got a photo of the crescent moon, but it hadn't got the car in it, so doesn't count.
Yeah, no, priorities, that's exactly right. Definitely. Cool. Awesome. All right.
Oh,
Well,
I found mine. Okay.
oh, you
I'll
did?
do it.
You got your.
Mm.
Yeah, I haven't
Very
actually. Frustratingly, the apps don't seem to update, so I don't have it. But if I go into the App Store and say update Tesla
I'll
app, it'll
send you
do that.
mine.
which is
And it's, I don't know that anybody can tell where it is. You might.
you never know. You never know. Mine doesn't say. Oh no, it doesn't say update, so I must have the updated version. And oh, I know why I don't have a loot box, because I don't have a car in my main Tesla account until I get the performance car. So I'm kind of in that account. I'm Tesla-less, but never mind. Alrighty, well, we might as well wrap up this awesome show since it's been a big week. Pete, how would you round out an awesome WAEV network, Geraldton and Northampton Charger special episode of Ask Us Anything?
As always, stay safe, stay sustainable, and stay ahead of the curve.
And the best way to do that is buy a Tesla, join Tokwa, drive to Geraldton and suss out a few charges, and ask us anything about accelerating the world's transition to sustainable energy. Have an awesome night, everyone, and an even better week. And we look forward to seeing you on next week's episode. And and happy Easter. Happy Easter, and happy Easter traveling to Kalbarri, perhaps, because now you can on the WAEV network. Have a great Easter, great week. Look forward to seeing you on next week's Ask Us Anything. Good night, everyone.
Thank you all.
Good night.
Good night.